Through the prayers of Holy Fathers, Lord Jesus Christ, our God, have mercy on us and save us. Amen. Good evening. For those new here, my name is Father Joseph Swaden. I'm the founder of NFTU, Orthodox News and Apologetics, since 2004, True Orthodox and Ecumenical News. We've been in the apologetic space on Facebook since 2016 and on YouTube since 2018. Let me see here. Can everyone hear me? Because my system is acting strange and I can't tell if it's working or not. Okay. Guess I'll just go through these. Father Martinez says, good evening. Good evening, Father. The Orthodox Field says, good evening, Fathers. Good evening. In between names says, what's the topic tonight besides a 2025 recap? Oh, well, a 2025 recap. It's been a busy year. So, I mean, let's see here. There's quite a bit we're going to cover because the 2025 has been interesting. Great babe. Hope the audio issue is fixed. Says never mind. Okay. Leonidas with a member chat. Remember, you can get your chats on the screen with either a super chat or a member chat. So for $10, thank you for helping keep the lights on. Leonidas says, Father, you mentioned in the last stream that St. Nikolai of Limer advised St. Matthew of Prasenna. Can you elaborate and what's the source of this information? I received that as actually a YouTube comment, but the citation noted were the private letters of St. Matthew, and apparently they are Father Mark Smith in Canada has held them and put them out. So that's the you may have more connections within the Matthewite community than I do. So I would say he's probably the point person for something like that. So definitely, let's see here. Okay, there's music. And Little Wing 7 with a member chat says, good evening. The theme song is playing right now. Thank you. And the Orthodox Field says, answer the phone. That was actually the timer. I was not fast enough to stop it. Amen. And all is well on this end. Layman John says, with a member chat, loud and clear. And Taylor Harden says, hello, Father bless. May God bless you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Subdeacon for Life says, you sound marvelous. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad I could sound marvelous this particular evening. All right. So 2025 in review. Okay. First off, I need to say what is the purpose of this particular video, because there's always a purpose when we do our donations and our requests for help. So I want to do that first before we get any further. As most of you know, we live in a house. We live in a two-family house. There are two families. We are related, and one porch and staircase. And because Taylor Harden, John Taylor Harden, with a member chat, is the Holy Cross Monastery still there near Cincinnati? Last I checked, Metropolitan Nicholas was still alive and well. He is older. I don't know what's going on there, though. I'm not near Cincinnati, but I will find out eventually. What I'll say that here is, as I mentioned, we have this house, and the house has a small porch, and the small porch has a staircase. Well, it doesn't quite have a full staircase anymore, because in addition to all the temptations that we've been dealing with over this fast, including massive babysitting duties, basically a lot of traveling and taking people around, so on and so forth. About a day or two before secular Christmas Eve, secular Christmas Day, I should say. How do I put this on? Well, hold on. The file is not invalid. Hold on a moment. I'd like to share this information. You know what? Hold on, and we'll do it a different way. Okay, we're going to open up, open, downloads, stairs. We're going to start here. Okay. So I am going to share the image viewer. Well, these are our stairs. Nope, those are not our stairs. That's me and StreamYard. Okay, window. These are our stairs. They have collapsed. Father Boniface, it says Benedicite, Benedicite. And Athanasius, I will answer your question in just a moment because I am going through this. What is our goal for today? The stairs have kind of, well, collapsed. We bought the property 3 years ago, and the stairs we sensed were going to be a problem, and well, they're a problem. And then we had an ice storm, so the stairs have a nice icy look now. Even though they are almost unusable, and somebody will eventually fall through them. God forbid that happens anytime soon, but it is very close to happening. They're not held to anything at this point. And once the cold weather stops, I'm sure code enforcement will probably get a call, which will lead to other problems. So we called around. We found somebody who was able to do it for $750, replace the entire staircase. And I have a feeling things are still going to go wrong. Because of that, I am asking for a ridiculous. Okay, Barnold wants a big Boniface blessing. Well, Father Boniface isn't on screen, but he may want to give a blessing. Father Boniface, bless. The struggle is real. Absolutely. So as I said, I'm getting quoted at $750. There is also the permit fee of $119 for that much. So I'm throwing it out there. I know it's insane. I'm throwing out a goal of $1,200. Why am I throwing that out? Because $750 plus stairs, $120 for the permit. That's $870 minimum, and because things always go wrong. So that is why I've put that. I don't know how realistic it is, but we're going to get to that. But we'll see. Anyway, Barnold says, Father Joseph bless. May God bless you in the name of the Father, and the Holy Spirit. And so this is that's the current start of the 2025 review stream. Let's get started with things that actually happened. In 2025, we started real early this year. We went right into it. Hold on, as I go to I guess this would be in videos, and this was one of our first streams of the year. Give me a moment. We had that January 10th news style, just 4 days after the inauguration of one Donald John Trump. Okay, we don't want to full screen it. We want to theater screen it. Okay. Just one full day after, 3 full days after the election. Thank you, Little Wing 07, for the stairs. Definitely, we need all the help we can get. But yeah, we hold on. We had within a few days of the inauguration a certain debate between myself, and Father John, semi-moderated by Craig Trulia, and then that's the famous debate where Father Peter Heers showed up out of nowhere. That was January 10th news style this year. So that's how we started the year. We ended last year where people felt that they had to go for a whole, it was like we were going to have a whole debate scene, and that started. So not that I'm saying these things are equally important. They obviously are not. The election of President Trump and my debate with Father John and Craig Trulli were both important. I'm sorry. That was a very enlightening debate. It was weird and problematic, and uh, people came out of different places looking for new things and looking for stuff going on. And so, oh wait, okay, Father Mark, Temple, welcome.
Hey, Father, how are you?
I'm okay. I guess. Well, hello, and what can we do for you?
I just thought I'd call and say hello.
Nice,
Uh, Not
nice.
sure what the topic was. It took me a minute to get signed in, but so I'm not sure what you were
Well,
talking about before.
well, I'll tell you, we were going to do our 2025 year in review, and we started
Uh,
with January, and I think you've made the list for December. This just happens. It's a lamp that hates me. It is just awful, awful, awful lamp. All right. Anyway, yeah. Little Wing says, I remember that debate. I mean debacle. Yeah, it was awful. So, yeah. So, how are things going, Father? Give us an update.
Going pretty well. Going pretty well. We moved into our new church building at the end of no, well, around November, because had we were quite overcrowded where we were. And we just got our sign up today, and I made 5 new catechumens today as well.
Oh,
So
glory to God.
really nice. Yes.
Let me see. Father Mark, does the GOCK view Father Joseph Synod is valid? I think I can answer that. I don't think they do. We don't have any official discussions or anything like that. So that answers that. Socrates on X says, "Am I doing something wrong? I cannot hear anything." I've heard this a couple of times today, but they were on YouTube, so I feel like something's gone wrong, but I don't know what it is. I would assume that are people on X hearing me? Just comment if you are and if everything's fine. Because that
I'm
is
hearing you. Yeah.
yeah, I hear you fine. I think most people are hearing things. So yeah. Okay, he left and came back. It's good now. Okay, very good. So yeah, tell us a little bit more. So how has that affected your how are things going? I see that there's spirited debate on the Euphrosynos Cafe. If I may,
Yeah.
there's some
You can
snap
say
and
that. Yes.
banter, some witty repartee. Blessing. God bless you. Okay. Okay, so yeah, tell me about that. Let's talk about it because I mean I want to know your side. We want to know your side of the story.
Oh, you mean as far as why I left ROAC in the
Yeah, well,
September?
I mean, when you kind of you had some stuff you had to work out in terms of transitioning and stuff, but I mean, whatever you
Sure.
feel comfortable talking about now.
Yeah. No, I'd be glad to. You know, I've been a priest in ROAC. I was ordained in 2007 by Archbishop Andre. And, from the very beginning, when I first met him, he had always explained to me that we, as in ROAC, we
Welcome,
didn't view
Father Baumgart.
ourselves,
Okay, go ahead.
uh,
Benedicite.
Benedicite.
Continue.
yeah,
Continue.
that we didn't view ourselves as being the only Orthodox people on the planet. And so, and he used to tell me very often. He said, I'll talk to anybody. I'll sit down and talk to anyone. Regarding other true Orthodox jurisdictions.
Yeah,
And, on numerous occasions, he had allowed me um, to give communion to GOC people, RTOC people, just various different folks throughout from the very beginning, all the way up until just now.
yeah,
And then I had gotten a call from a lady, and she was in a different state, and her plan was to move to Louisiana, which is where I am. And in the meantime, she said, "Well, after this is over several phone calls, obviously,
yeah,
but she said, well, look, there's a GOC parish like 2 hours away from me. I'm not going to go there every Sunday, but I'd like to go there, at least once a month or so. Um, and she said, "Do you think that would be a good idea?" And I said, "Yeah, I think that would be fine." Well, then she ended up talking to Vladika Andre, who told her that if she did that, that would be a sin. And so she called me back and said, "Were you aware of this?" And I said, "No, I was not aware that that would be his response." Um, so it was a few weeks before he was going to come to visit our parish anyway. So I thought, okay, I'll talk to him about it, when he comes here in person. And so when I did, he was very, very strongly coming out against the GOC. And I
Okay.
said, "Well, what has what has changed? Did they do something new? Or there was just, is there something that I'm unaware of?" And he really didn't. He really didn't say anything that was new or had changed. And I said, "Well, and I had that big talk with him on that Sunday. It was November 9th, actually. Um, and the previous day, he had made mention to me. He says, "Look, if we've ever given communion to anyone, any other church's people, then we are in communion with them." So I brought that up the next day and I said, "Well, if you're condemning the GOC now as heretics," I mean, and he wasn't beating around the bush. He wasn't saying, "Well, they have problems, they've got, some issue." It wasn't an opinion. He was making a declarative statement. And I said, "Well, where is this couldn't just come from you. That has to come from the synod of bishops. So where is that? Where is that information?" And he couldn't provide it. And when I asked him, I said, "Well, why didn't the synod make such a condemnation?" He said, "Oh, well, because we've never been in communion with one another." So, there was just a lot of, and then I asked him point blank. I said, "Well, do you believe that we're the only Orthodox Christians on the planet? Do we have essentially like a something along the lines of like a Matthewite type position?" And he's, more or less said yes. I mean, no, he said, "Well, I don't. I'd like to think we're not, but obviously, when you say that, you're meaning yes. That's what you believe."
Yeah.
And I just, I told him during that conversation, I said, "Look, I have an issue with this. There's nothing that you're bringing to my attention that proves this." And when I asked him, I said, "Well, how do you know, what's going on in the GOC?" He says, "Oh, well, I have people and they give me reports." Um, as though it was some sort of anonymous reports or something to him. And I'm like, "Well, that's not how things work when you make condemnations within the church. You go through a trial. You have to have people come. There have to be 2 to 3 witnesses to verify things. I mean, that's how these things work, or they're supposed to." So again, at the end of the conversation, I told him, I said, "This is an issue for me. I don't see where you've got the right to call these folks heretics when that's not the way that this ought to work in Orthodoxy." And I consulted with uh, some fellow priests that I knew, and asked, "Well, what could I do? What should I do?" Spent a lot of sleepless nights over it. And then finally, I came to the point where I says, "Well, I don't want to be disobedient to him, but I also can't, I can't toe this line. I can't
Right.
rightfully tell people they should go here in the meantime, as a like, they could go to a GOC parish and then he tell them that they're sinning if they do such a thing."
Hmm.
I mean, that's a moral. If you're talking sin, that's a moral. I mean, it wasn't just "I prefer you not do that." It was a no, you'd sin. And so I just felt like I was in between a rock and a hard place where I can't in good conscience, you know, because as a priest, as all of you well know, I mean, you get people contacting you saying, in effect, "How do I save my soul?"
Yeah.
And you got to have some confidence in the answers that you're going to give.
Absolutely.
And when I was looking at the situation that I was in, I said, "Well, I got one or two choices. Basically, I can lie to people, tell them one thing that I don't believe, or I'd end up having to tell people uh, well, just do what you want and don't tell, Archbishop Andre. And I don't want to be like that. I didn't want to be disobedient. So the only out that I could see uh, was to ask for a canonical release.
Right.
Um, and, just to essentially say, well, let's go our different ways. And so the week later, I sent him that request on a Sunday evening,
Mhm.
and by Monday morning, I don't know, right around 4 o'clock in the morning, I woke up the next morning to a text he had sent me with my um, suspension letter attached to it. So there I was, suspended because I asked for a canonical release. And I said in my letter, look, I'm asking for the release because I don't want to disobey you. And that was my right to ask for a canonical release under these circumstances. He had changed
Can
his
you hear me?
ecclesiology.
Yes, we can hear you, Father.
Yeah.
I cannot hear Father Mark.
Huh. We're
I
having
don't know if
audio.
anyone else is having that problem or not. I can't hear him.
I mean, I can hear him. I'm confused. That's weird. I can hear him. But while we're doing this is a great opportunity to go through some of these comments. Athanasius 117 about the cafe account. I've just activated what I think is your account. In between names, BOSVR is in communion with GOCK. No, but it's about individual people. MPC with opinions 2434. The GOCK has been known to commune World Orthodoxy. Yeah, sure. I know that was the case in like 2001. But times have changed since then, and I know they did what's the word I'm looking for? They did correct a number of clergy who were doing that. Let's see. The BOSVR is Biserica Ortodoxa Stili Veci in Romania. It's that's the Old Calendar Church of Romania. Crazy was telling the parish that you are not a priest, that you've been married twice. Now he's on here trying to save face. I will not debate him as I don't have a blessing to. Okay, Father Mark has vanished. I don't know if that's because he's trying to fix his sound. Okay, we'll just wait. God Save Us as Orthodox Field. I doubt all those people have open communion in GOC. I don't think it's an open communion thing. Those are all true Orthodox bodies. Subdeacon for Life says, didn't Bishop Andre come from Gregory of Denver? Yes, he did. Athanasius, okay. It's informal communion, says the Orthodox Field. Very true. Arad, Father Bless, wanted to ask, what's the argument against St. John consecrating new calendar bishops? Was confronted about that on a comment on YouTube and don't know what the refutation is? There's not a refutation. St. John consecrated bishops for the Church of France with the understanding they would be on the old calendar, and then they weren't. Father, can we hear you?
I'm having trouble here. I'm going to have to get off. Sorry about that.
Okay. No problem, Father. Well, it's good seeing you, and thank you. And if you want to come back on when you get that straightened out, you can. That's what it's for. Let's see. Father Joseph Bless. Also, you were ROAC in the Metropolitan Valentine days, right? Yes, I was. Actually, I was leaving right around the same time that Father Mark had joined, ironically. The Orthodox Field says, meaning they can receive communion with a blessing. Correct. In between names says plenty of True Orthodox jurisdictions refuse to recognize other True Orthodox jurisdictions and also refuse Holy Communion. Does this mean those groups are outside the church? How does Father Mark's action match Canon 15? I don't think it really is affected by Canon 15, if you want my honest opinion, because when you're dealing with Orthodox bishops and Orthodox people, it's not the same as dealing with, heterodox and World Orthodox and ecumenists. Yeah, it's probably more like case by case, says God save us. Yeah. The Orthodox Field said it's called informal communion for a reason. I feel bad. He's all frozen there. All right, I'm just going to remove him until he figures it out. Okay, let's see here. That doesn't break the unity of the church. That means the churches are divided in an administrative way temporarily. That is correct, Orthodox Field. Spiridon says, I hear Father Mark. Yep, he did leave. I can see and hear Father Mark loud and clear. So did I. Socrates says, I can hear all three. Father Mark. Leonidas said the GOC communed new calendars until 2002, and then they issued an encyclical, and Metropolitan Pavlos stopped doing it. With a member chat, thank you very much. And yes, that is correct. The GOCK does not commune World Orthodox people. This is best outdated info. Even Synod and Resistance didn't do that. Roker actually did do that. It was mixed. Okay, so let me see here. So if Father Mark can get his audio back, that's fine. Otherwise, let's continue on. Let's see here. So, yeah, hey, Father, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm kind of I was muted because I'm doing some cooking, but I'm doing well. Hanging in there and continuing to work on the house to fix it up, to get
Glory
it
to
up and
God.
running. Yeah.
Glory to God. I know that feeling. Let's see here. Ladika Spiridon says Ladika Andre is freezing Father Mark from speaking. No. If a group denies communion with other Orthodox groups on principle, they are indeed schismatic. I would agree with that. I think at this point, just saying it's safe to say we don't know. It's another thing to say nobody else is true Orthodox. It's kind of silly. But yeah. So let me see here where we are. So we are at February. February was an interesting month in 2025. Oh, I didn't finish January. Another interesting thing that happened in January after the debate, the post debate, the debate on the debate in January. Then we had a live show with a visit from Redeemed Zoomer, who was visiting I guess different Orthodox sites, and he had an interest in learning about true Orthodoxy. So we had him on a while back. That was the end of January. You see how much we've got? This feels like years and years ago, but this was literally the end of January. I was still super fat then. I was fatter than I was now. So that's how quickly things moved this year. Things moved in an incredibly bizarre pace. Let me see here. What have we got? Even if a bishop acts unjustly or uncanonically, a presbyter may not intermittently reject discipline or exercise priestly ministry on his own authority before synodal judgment. Yeah, that's St. Nicodemus. Ura says, Father, is cold approaching in the church allowed? Considering you should definitely look for another Orthodox for spouse, best case scenario, then when would you find your wife if not from the church? I'm not sure what cold approaching allowed means. I mean, I tend to think like if you're referring in terms of sales to just walking up to women and talking to them, you should not do that in church. You can do that at coffee hour with a dozen people watching you. There's no sin in single people trying to reach out to other Orthodox single people. But if they warn you that they're not single, then it's best to leave them alone, so on and so forth. You know the rules. Just be not tacky. Orthodox Field says, waiting to see if he admits that he believes Hakna's encyclical divergent teachings is Orthodox. Very true. That to compromise with a thumbs up. Godsaber says, Orthodox Field, they provided that many times. They failed. That the compromise says sizzle with a happy face. And Godsaber says, but he was supporting the name worshippers. That's clear. He was. And that's a big problem. In between names says, I'm not under Bishop Andre, but I haven't seen him explicitly confess in Yugoslavia, so this sounds like slander. No, well, that would be slander he brought upon himself, because he was the one who started making public overtures to Hakna. He was the one who kind of started trying to bring their synods together. So, yeah, no, I disagree completely that it's slander. If he is not a name worshiper, that's great. I'm not convinced he isn't, because I don't believe he's given enough information to say one way or the other. It seems like he's been trying to say both sides are right, which to me is pro name worshiper. Yeah, the whole world knows that after all those people have talked to. Era 1791, just a dozen people. Well, I mean, again, I'm not saying that there aren't, a dozen people on that side, but there's 65 on the other. People are acting like this is a schism of equal size. It's not. Caller Trisman Dre and ask him. I'm not calling him for Jack. He first off openly told me that he openly told his people that they're not allowed to speak to me. So yeah, last time I called him, he was kind of rude. I just dealt with it. It was just really tacky. So no, calling him and asking him, it doesn't seem like it's gonna work. Yeah, or you could just reply to my email. I've already talked to him on the phone a few times. The Orthodox Field says, yeah. Reconquista Orthodox says, Father, what do you think about bringing more traditional women to the country, and eventually more traditional women will take over the Western woman? I don't like any types of mass importation. I mean, if a person wants to talk about finding a wife in another country, that's fine. But I don't like the idea of importing any number of large groups of people to the country. We've done that before and it hasn't worked out well. In between names, 4438, innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, the U.S. court system is not the model of the church. There are some serious differences. And one of them involves things that people do, which lawyers in America could often say in the legal system are irrelevant when they aren't. How are you doing, Father? I think he's still cooking. Okay. Indeed, I asked Archbishop Andre about it, not realizing he was at least an Yugoslavia sympathizer. And the lights have gone out again. This is, by the way, my lamp. It's just awful. It's one of those things that I wish I could replace, but I can't because I just don't have the time or money for it. So anyway, he admitted in his reply to Father Mark's canonical release that there was a communion agreement between Roak and Hakna. I did not read that. I would have to double check that, but that's bad. Gray Babe says, can someone ask Father Boniface to mute? I can hear him cook. We don't mind. Let him cook. Let him cook. Anyway,
I'll mute it. I didn't. I've been having technical issues, so I'm sorry.
Right. So if he openly admits there was a communion agreement and it's on hold due to administrative issues, then by default he has no problem with Hakna's confessions. And that leads to the question: does the rest of Roak know about it? God said, that is really bad. There's something called schism, and it does exist. Ina Kari writes, regarding Yugoslavia, would it be correct and fair to say that God is truly present in his name, but God is not exhausted by his name? Thus, name worshiping was intuitively correct, but theologically inarticulate? The problem is this. I have dealt with a lot of stress for many, many years from name worshipers. I have dealt with a lot of people who have made my life harder personally many times because of name worshiping. I am sure that the spirit of your post is one that is ironic and one that is meant to foster Christian unity, so on and so forth. But it rubs me the wrong way. Like, I'm not pro-Yugoslavist. At this point, I'm pretty anti-Yugoslavist. What I'm not, I do believe in praising the name of God. I do believe in glorifying the name of God, but I hate these people. These people have gotten on my last nerve too many times, and I don't want to deal with them. They constantly feel like they're Orthodox LARPing or Orthodox adjacent as opposed to just Orthodox, and it bothers me. It bothers me to a great deal. I'm just saying that out loud. In between names says no cleric may be condemned, deposed, or punished without proof, witnesses, and proper judgment. Fair enough. And I believe that that also is true about Father Mark. Orthodox Field said, Father, can you pull it up on the Roak website? What am I pulling up? Grape App says, haha, let Father cook. Little Wing with a member chat says, Sizzle, I like listening to Father cook. In between names says, see Apostolic Canon 74. Spiridon says, was he grilling a steak? No, I don't know what he's grilling, but didn't mean you, Father. I'm telling this person who's acting like he isn't an Yugoslavist. The entire True Orthodox world knows that Hakna made themselves name worshippers. The fact that Andre joined communion by officially permitting lay people of Hakna to take communion was already way off. I agree, and that is suspect. And for people to say, oh, that doesn't prove anything is disingenuous. We did have an agreement of Metropolitan Gregory of Hakna to permit our parishioners to have communion in each other's churches. Whoa, okay, hold on, direct me to it. I have never seen that, and if that is true, all right, so hold on. I am sharing the Roak website, but I'm going blind because I do not follow everything. So we are letting Theodore cook.
I am trying to cook and not burn.
Oh, what are you cooking? People are curious.
Salmon patties with onions and peppers. I'm going to mute.
Patties. Hold on. Yep. All right. And so there it is. You have it, people. He's eating salmon patties, accusing him of eating steak. How dare you? Okay, where did Father Mark go? November 17th to 2025. New style. Okay, scrolling. Oh, he does recommend books by Orthodox Traditionalist Publications. definitely. And by the way, these are both good. And this is engrossing. I just got started with it. All right. Well, what am I looking for here? Let me look at the date again. November 17th to 20th, 2025. Here we go. What am I clicking here, Theodore? There's the Orthodox field. There's 3 of them. Yummy salmon patties. Yes. Ionar Curry says, isn't that essentially Krabby Patties? I guess so. Theodore, as Father Mark says, give me your articles, times, dates for your claims. Well, we're actually looking at it right now. So it's in one of these articles. So I guess we're going to go through all 3. Let me see here. All right. The best thing to do, I guess, would be to click this. And that's short. No Gregory there. Let's try this one. Did he really say man up in an Episcopal letter? Okay. We're gonna try. This is the man up letter. Okay. I guess Archbishop Andrea's response. Oh, most right. Okay, so we're waiting. We're loading it now. We're loading it as we speak. Doo-ba-doo. Oh, that was quick. It's on the first page. We did have an agreement with Metropolitan Gregory of the Hockna to permit our parishioners to have communion in each other's churches. However, this agreement was rescinded due to reasons unrelated to your present complaints. So he was commuting the Hockna people like this whole time? Wow. Well, that puts a damper on things. I mean, God save us, it's not an if. I mean, he's just flat out saying it. This is his official letter on his official website. I can even kind of let me take off the pane window on the side, and for people who can't read it, this is right off the website. Where's Barnold? Barnold was here. He asked me for a blessing. He asked also for a big Father Boniface blessing, but I don't know if he's around, but he may well be.
I'm here.
Right.
I did text the blessing to him, but may the Lord bless you in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
All right, there we go. And Lindorfer's like, in his Discord chud den. Okay. So yeah, this I mean, there's nothing I can do with this. I mean, he's literally openly saying it. People are going to look at me and be like, you're the bad guy for putting this up. Okay, Barnold said, thanks, Father Boniface. So, I mean, I'm just a guy trying to get his stairs fixed and get through 2025. We barely made it through January. And this is crazy. So I did not expect to see this. Back in this, I guess this is November. They've been commuting Hockna members all this time. Oh boy. Okay, so let's get to hold on. Yeah, I know we discussed current events. Oh, okay. This was when Bishop James in February. Besides February, the stuff like let's see, there was the ceasefire in Gaza, farmer protests throughout Europe. What's his name? If it was, what's his name was already going to be like removed in March. He was taken out in January, and for us, Bishop James left to go and become an Antiochian deacon. So that was weird. God save us. Thank you, Mother Joseph, for addressing this. That Russian Orthodox is there is your receipt. Reconquista says silver price is rising. Oh, we're okay. Father Boniface is back. There he is. Silver price has gone crazy. As somebody who's long followed silver, the jump has been insane this year. It's at like almost $80 now. Are you there, Father?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's been crazy in terms of. Are you saying something? Because you're breaking up a lot.
I'm having technical problems.
Oh, okay. So yeah, and then that's a member chat there. So yeah, February was crazy. February was crazy for us. Seeing the departure of one of the bishops to the Antiochians for absolutely nothing, except to be made a deacon and get promised a whole bunch of things. The Antiochians did make a deacon in Scotland later that year, but it was one of their people that had nothing to do with Bishop James. So, oh well. Let me think here. So we get to March, and of course, March was, awful in so many places. In Tokyo, there was the massive earthquake. Happier times, Justin Trudeau in Canada resigned. So that was positive. And basically, the EU started to make deals with the farmers. What was happening church wise? Let's find out if I scroll on through. Let's see here. What was going on? And so, well, that was a heartwarming. I remember we did a heartwarming trip with Saba and a bunch of other people, going to different places around the country. It feels like that was. It feels like that was like 10, 20 years ago. And Saba was showing off the various kind of buildings and places that he had visited. And it was just a joyful, weird, occasionally Roman Catholic experience. But it was a lot of fun. People were enjoying it. And there was lots of craziness going on. It was a hard. Oh, okay, hold on. Give me a moment. Okay, hold on. And then all right. So wait, we have some positive notes. Hold on. Da da da. Oh, let's get through here. We got RJ donating $20 to help keep the lights on. So that is a huge thanks. So first off, let's put in the $10 super chat from Leonidas. And there was a $20 Cash App from RJ and a $25 PayPal from PG. So this is great. Great start to the evening so far. That is $55, bringing us down to a total of $11.45. And yes, once again, it sounds really, really high. And the reason for that is because about $800 total. We need to get $800 to fix our collapsed stairs. So just a reminder for those who are wondering. Give me a moment. I will put up the stairs once again, and we'll close. That's sad, but that is the reality of our times and of our day. Is that the stairs have been completely collapsed. They're not safe, and we will probably start getting tickets for it. Let me say, Grape Ape says, has anyone seen the St. Moses the Black movie trailer? We actually reviewed it 2 weeks ago, so you might want to check that. The jury's out on it. Until we see it and we understand what it's about, the jury is out, but Grape Ape does donate $5, adding to that. So thank you for helping keep the lights on, or I should say for helping rebuild the stairs at this point, because that is kind of where we are. So let me fix that. L10 and GA5. And so we're now down to 1140, which sounds impossible, but it is not necessarily impossible. It's nothing is impossible with God, first off. So, but yeah, this is kind of the stuff that we're dealing with. Let me just quickly Hold on. For those wondering, I am once again putting up the picture of the pictures of the stairs, and so that's going to, unfortunately, that's kind of where I am with stuff. They're not looking pretty. This was just before the ice storm hit, so you could get a clear view. They are old and they have broken. We tried to hold them up with some stuff, but they don't even have proper stringers on them, and they were like, it looks like built like hand, so everything was non-standard. And of course, this is them with snow now. So let me see here. Brett Conquista says, Father, go back on last week. Gay liar spoke with us about us with Posh Redneck. Oh my goodness. Again? Well, he's not coming into the 2025 recap until May. So we'll deal with him as we get there. Right now, we are just getting through March. Let me see here. Yeah. I still RG88 says, I still don't understand that. Why would you leave the Metropolis as a bishop to be a deacon in the Syrian Ethnic Adventure Club? The answer is actually pretty easy. And when you believe your popularity is based upon having followers on X, and these guys have their own goal. What's going on? Father?
Oh, I'm making noise, huh? Oh, sorry.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, when you're going on X and you have a bunch of these Antiochian Western right nerds that are like, like underage nerds in the discords, and they kind of organize and they really want the building. You start following people around. You start following this guy around and seeing if you can break his will somewhat, seduce him, if you will, with the love of power and respect and accolades. And it doesn't take many people to do it, like maybe like 20. And that's kind of what happened with him. So a bunch of like 20 people kind of ganged on him, and he started believing that they were like his following and they believed in him and blah. And they're like, oh yeah, we can get you into the Antiochians and you can be a bishop and stuff. And so he ends up signing over his building or whatever. And that was let me see here. Do I need a blessing to huh? It's a question. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. So that's basically how they did it. And he was already angry at us because he was trying to abolish the fasts that were used in the Western Rite. And so you put that all together, and that's why he did what he did. Let's see here. Okay. You're the confessions. Well, it's not just the confession that matters, is it? No, but it's the main part. It's definitely the most important part. So yeah, I don't know about them and their history to give an answer. If you want to find out more about our Synods history, just go to orthodoxmetropolia.org/history or click on the history link. It's not that hard. Donuts from Orthodox Traditionalists. Father, I've heard you mention that when Elia II reposes that the GP will enter the WCC. The GP leaving the WCC due to many monasteries threatening to stop communion. If the GP goes humanist after Elia's passing, do you think all those monasteries will join the True Orthodox? I know GOCK is in Georgia and sadly Hakna. So are some of our people. There's some level of outreach with some True Orthodox Russians as well. Yeah. So, I think those movements will accelerate, obviously. There was noteworthy this year. There was a government scandal where they tried to assassinate Aaliyah II. So they were trying to speed that up. So yeah, I mean, crazy stuff. So yeah, the goal is, I realize the goal is insanely high, but things happen like crazy, unfortunately. And this month, it was our stairs. They collapsed. Let's see here. The way they spoke about RC in an interview with Dwyer Southern Monks and Bishop hit me as a little ecumenistic. Yeah, we had started watching some of the videos and there were some things that Bishop Enoch was concerned about. And then next thing you know, the book scandal started up last year, and then this year it turns out that they had, after basically saying they were rejecting the rest of the synod, they joined the Antiochians and became nobody. Daniel York says, "Who's Posh Redneck?" He's a podcaster. He has glasses and a big mustache, from what I remember. Lunacy Unleashed TV says, "Evelita, valid question. I heard that the Orthodox Church document that we should not call Roman Catholics and Protestants heretics, but that they are brothers and sisters. Do you have any documents?" Oh boy, I think that there are probably people even in this chat who could provide things like that to you. Those aren't actually uncommon. They were very common in the 70s and 80s, and then in the 90s. They obviously became less popular as anti-ecumenists began to expose them. Let me see here. RG88-V2C, any thoughts on if Hockner, or at least parishes of Hockner, will return to the church and how to help them do so? I really like those people in spite of their confessional issues. The best thing you can do is just keep telling them and reminding them that there's no reason to support Yugoslavia. And eventually, I think more people are realizing it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. God Save Us 4380 says, "I think the best of them left." Well, yeah, but we don't go by the best of the lost sheep. We try to get them all. NPC with Opinions 2434 says, "I think the worst of them did." Okay. It wouldn't be our comment section if they weren't fighting each other. As always, this is a live Q&A session, so you can always call in. Just click the link at the top of the chat or click the link in the top of the YouTube chat. I am putting out the goal like it is something terrifying, because for me it is. Our stairs are virtually unusable. There's a bunch of people, including children. We don't want injuries, and we definitely don't want the neighbors calling us on us to give us tickets, which will probably happen at least now, because at least 2 or 3 people are hate watching, and they are going to try to see what they can find to see if they can get reports out to get me to get tickets. Let's see. The Orthodox field said there's a 2010 document signed by their bishops where they claim the GOC under Archbishop Kalinikos is fully valid. And God save us, as most of the world doesn't agree. The world does not matter, though, does it? The truth does. Yes, which is why I say the truth is, as long as they can repent of that Yugoslavia heresy, then maybe they'll be saved. And people with opinion says, "We are in the world, but not of the world," I think I heard. And then Orthodox Field said they left because they didn't want to be with heretics. God said, if you spoke to them, they'd probably spewed a bunch of lies. I have no idea what that means. Sure. Orthodox Field says, read their encyclical Divergent Teachings. They teach that God has an uncreated name. Okay, then they're clearly stating that the name of God is an energy of God, which means that they are teaching the name of God's God, which means they are teaching name worshiping. If the best of Hockner left, the rest should be levitating. Okay. That teaching is heterodox. If possible, yes, please, if someone could put that in the chat. Thanks, says Lunacy Unleashed. NPC with Opinions, I think they left because they wanted a bigger church and higher ranks. I don't think it was that at all. I remember reporting on this. It was extremely traumatic and upsetting to a lot of the people involved. The implication that they were just doing it for rank and power is not sane. No, it's not correct. Internet people with opinions are always wild. Or they'll just says, can you break down this Yugoslavia or whatever? I heard it once before. Yeah, it was a heresy started, in the late 1890s by a monk, Georgian monk. I forget his name. Became popularized by a former military adventurer turned monk named Anthony Bolatovich, who basically really publicized the idea that the name of God is God, selling the monks on it because they were saying the Jesus prayers, so they were directly invoking God directly. It started chaos on Athos to the point where The Royal Imperial Russian Navy had to go and literally subdue a monastery because there was mass violence breaking out over it. Eventually, the Russian Church in 1913 put their foot down with the Emislavius. The Emislavius basically repented in 1914. Some of them tried to change by 1917. Antony Bulatovich was shot by robbers in 1918. Gregory Laurier brought it back in the late 1990s because he thought the best way to get attention and to get interest was to revive an old dead heresy. And unfortunately, that seems to be what Hockna did. Also, they kind of did things together, and then now Archbishop Andrei is in that web. Hopefully, I hope that helps Orthodox for a basic definition of Emuslavia. Lindorfer says the fact that Archbishop Andrei won't accept that Emuslavia is a heresy is a red flag, and his followers should be worried. RG88 says the GOCK wasn't even that much bigger back then. LOL. Not in America, but in Greece, it was definitely a lot bigger. So yeah. Stam 270 says, put a barrier across the steps so no one uses them. See ya. Okay, I will do that. And so that is something that I'll do. Also, I shall say I am delayed on emails. So if you send me an email, I will reply within the next day or two. It's just been crazy here. Let's see here. Hockna was bigger than the GOC under Archbishop Kallinikos at the time. Your narrative falls apart. Wasn't not in Greece. It certainly wasn't. So yeah, that's not quite true. Everyone can see you're okay. Let's see if I can try to move things. Otherwise we will. Okay, this guys, like, I'm gonna skip the fighting you're having with each other. Let's see. And Terry Rodriguez 31 says father is. I think so. Let's take a look here. So we get to, again, it is our live Q&A session. So once again, if you want to call in, you can. Let me see here. Yeah. The claim that the GOC is commuting World Orthodox is crazy. Orthodox Field gifted 5 NFTU True Orthodox News and Apologetics membership. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, NPC with opinion. Prove that Hockna is bad or something. They really went all out in the defense of name worshiping to the point of creating a massive schism that they were okay with. And also that was at the point of the Synodia where Father Panteleimon actually admitted that he was guilty of the things he had done previously. So it was a pretty chaotic and problematic, for lack of a better word, break. And it was awful on all sides. Lindorfer says the GOC does not commune World Orthodox. Yeah, I mean, I am pretty sure they don't, and the claims that they do, I think, are kind of over exaggerated. Yeah, it's kind of crazy the way things are going here. But in any case, we're up to March and we're going to April. God Save Us 4380 says Father Panteleimon is used to exchange relics with new calendars. What's your point? Yeah, I mean, what about the relics though? Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, RG88 says, when I was World Orthodox, I visited 2 GOC parishes and a monastery, never received communion, and was told I had to be chrismated first. Okay, that answers that. The Orthodox Field with a member chat says, go to Hockna's website and read their encyclical Divergent Teachings. The open public heresy is there. Sanchidonius says, yo, let's go, free membership. Thanks, Orthodox Field. Awesome. Awesome. That's cool. I don't know how the gift things work. So I mean, if people are getting free memberships, awesome. So anyway, hey there, Father.
Hey, I'm live.
All right. How are things going?
All right.
Daniel York says, "Why do the anti-Israel right-wing groups never criticize the Palestine side?" I think it has kind of to do with the whole killing kids thing. I don't think they want to be like, you get the money. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't even know how to count. I've never received that. I've never seen that. I've seen it on other channels where it happens. I've never seen it on my channel. So there are 5 free gifted memberships, and apparently Sean just became one of them. So, if there's people who need memberships, I don't even know how to get the memberships or how to give them. Just, I don't know, fumble around with the buttons a bit, I guess. Anyway, let's see here. Yeah. Ultimately, you just have to, what it comes down to is people are going to argue, is name worshiping a heresy? I would argue that the Russian church and the Greek church already condemned it. Our synod, my synod personally, has also condemned it. Other synods have condemned it. It's sufficient. It goes against the concepts of not only God but names. So it's just it's kind of a crazy thing. So thank you so much, Orthodox Field, for that. And yeah, I do appreciate it. I don't know how to calculate it in the total, but I am sure it helps. And so yeah, I guess I could try to figure out where to put it. Let me just see here. I guess see. All right. I guess I'll just put this there. So we've added that. It doesn't, I'm not adding it to the totals. And welcome, Reader John.
Father bless.
May God bless you in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
I hear some Christmas cheer there. It's a little jingle bell type things.
Ho, ho, ho.
All right, so hold on, give me a second. And also, if you're trying to get logged in or registered at ufrozenuscafe.com, just let us know in the comments. We are taking care of that as well as we can. We're currently at a goal of 1140, currently at 60. There were 5 memberships gifted. Thank you so much to the Orthodox Field for that, but it just got to get that fixed. That's all I can do. Let's see here. NPC, you're acting like an ROI Zoomer. Have you actually attended a parish of a synodal affiliation? Okay, NPC. I don't know what that's. Yeah, everyone just ignore him. I don't know what's going on.
Grumpy live chat.
Yeah, the live chat is grumpy today. But so am I because I don't have stairs. But anyway.
Oh, Father was stairs, guys. Come on.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff. But yeah, I'm trying my best here. Let me see here.
What month are we on?
Well, we're on we're going into April. We are going into April, and April's a big month because they had so much stuff ready for, they had so much stuff ready for ecumenical celebrations for Nicaea. You remember they were talking about that all of last year? And they were it was going to be huge. Hold on.
Yeah, I think that's when we first started talking about, they're going to unite, and then we're like, no, they're not going to unite, and then live chat was like, yeah, they're still going to unite, and nobody united.
Well, then the Pope died, didn't he?
Yeah,
no, that's exactly it. I was gonna put that up as soon as I could find a good pick.
Apparently, the embalmer did a very bad job too.
Yeah, they hold on, let me see. I gotta see if I can find the pick. Okay, here's a good one. So let's save that image. Put that as download, whatever, and we will present it. The main hero who saved the ecumenical discussion from becoming the evil thing it could have been was Pope Francis himself, who did us all a huge favor by passing on. So no, it's not too soon. This was April. We can say this now. Like he single-handedly stopped all of the ecumenical Nicaea stuff, just messed it all up.
And then we had November. But we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But good Lord, good, Lord of mercy on him. Then Lori went in 2012. Do the math, yeah. Hatred for Metropolitan Demetrius among World Orthodox and sectarians is interesting. Yeah, I would say that that's true. Yeah, smoking a cigarette, eating oysters, watching NFTU is life right now. Definitely we should pray for his protection. Meeting Metropolitan Demetrius, it's a little late for Pope Francis. Okay, I'm removing him from the screen. And that was probably the biggest event of April, which caused absolute chaos in the ecumenical world, in the interfaith world, even in the apologetics world. It just caused absolute chaos.
One might say it's divine intervention and kind of pointing towards where ecumenism is a heresy.
Yep, I would agree.
I'm just saying.
The timing was perfect. Let's see here. Beyond human understanding, through these and many similar statements, the church teaches us a perfectly lucid manner that the uncreated name of God being the cause.
Oh my goodness, guys! Read the 1913 Synod. Done. Over.
Yeah, I think he might be quoting the divergent teaching things in between names. Why don't you ask him yourself if they commune in World Orthodox? Father
like
Theodore.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Father, sorry.
No, he said. Father Theodore said the Pope dead doesn't look like a man that went to heaven. Oof.
Oof.
The SI never communicated ecumenists, contrary to accusations they were ecumenists. Very, very true.
Oh my goodness, that's like a 20+ year slander. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty old. Now May was an interesting month, I will say. Definitely, not only did we have that was the beginning of the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. That was when they were planning.
Is that when that started?
Yeah, they were planning on releasing it in April and May.
That was like 20 years ago.
It feels like 20 years ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's been a long year.
It's been going on for 20 years.
Well, good point, Father. Good point.
And then we had a most interesting start to May. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Hold on. And this is when apparently we found that there was some discussion with a Protestant pastor named he's a podcaster also named Ruslan, and he invited a certain friend of our channel here, if I may, a buddy of ours, a great pal, and his name was Jay Dyer, our NFTU army. Well, after watching, I guess I can't do that.
Not you.
I was just listening to groups that claim it.
Got it.
And I'm saying that the only way to suss out between those would be to go to the councils themselves.
Okay.
And see what the canons teach.
Okay.
And what the process of the councils was. For example, we believe in the Orthodox Church, we believe in the Apostolic canons. That's like the first collection of canon law. So that lays down principles that were accepted throughout the East, including the Deuterocanon, and the way that a bishop is elected is local. So there's nothing to do, for example.
I purposely included this a little bit of extra because what he's saying here is perfectly fine, but then
On the Apostolic canons with papacy.
Top down. It's more bottom up, it sounds like.
And then out of nowhere.
It's episcopate that's decentralized.
Now, this is interesting because, he says decentralized. We'll watch what happens.
And that was the normative church law in the East throughout the whole 300s.
Sure.
Same time in the West, when we look at the Western synods in church law, whether it's Council of Rome, Pope Damasus, Augustine, etc., Carthaginian Council, it reflects almost the exact same attitude in the West for the normative church law in terms of the Deuterocanon being accepted, in terms of the election of bishops. Even though the West had the Patriarch of Rome, Pope, like we don't see this attitude of...
Here he's just wrong. There were multiple patriarchs in the West. This is kind of stupid, but...
Yeah.
And
so councils. I would argue that's the easiest, quickest
It's
way
ecumenist
to
history.
suss
Father.
out
Got it.
that question.
What about
Hold on, wait. Okay, are you guys seeing this or no? So let's get back.
more aligned to these councils than Eastern Orthodox claim to?
Let's get back here.
I know some True Orthodox claim to be more aligned to these councils than Eastern Orthodox. Have you engaged with the True Orthodox? What is your thoughts on the True Orthodox? Because they kind of have a lot of what you're describing, but they say, but we're even more hardcore and we take these
And he's not wrong.
councils even more seriously.
Yeah, the problem is my good buddy David Erhan, he's done a couple good videos rebutting this. People could go if they want a longer.
I wouldn't call those good videos.
His rebuttal. It's only one
Yeah,
supposedly good video, and we already rebutted it.
Treatment. You could look at David Erhan's videos on his channel that address the True Orthodox claims. This is a very, very
They
tiny,
don't.
I mean, it's almost non-existent in the real world. I mean, I've seen one chapel in my travels across the country, but
Okay, because of the fact that he's now saying that he's seen exactly one True Orthodox church in the country, I'm going to have to issue a bit of a corrective. I feel like he knows he's lying at this point.
actual one of these groups. So it's almost, I mean, even if you did want to go that route, like you would basically not have a church unless you were in Florida. I think they have one in Florida.
He's saying we
But
have
aside from
one
that,
church
it would
in
mean
Yeah, so that was where the 5 people in a church in Florida came from. And that was
I don't believe he even saw the chapel. I think he's just making it up, to be honest.
Yeah, no, he is. What he's actually he's describing he's actually describing the Diamond Brothers. And so, you know, basically like he just projects them onto us.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad, but
Well, he knows Catholicism pretty well.
He does, because he's a papist. You know, I mean, he's barely what I would call, or what anyone would call, Orthodox.
Yeah.
But let me just see here.
I think he just recently threw, quote, Pastor Ben under the bus.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay. Because I thought didn't he interview with him like a week ago?
But Ben put up a short, and Jay Dyer compared him to like the creature of the Black Lagoon or something. So
wow,
it was.
Well, it sounds like the usual Ortho bros.
Yep, Ortho bros making drama.
Yeah,
but
they're the self-eating kind.
Yeah, Ben was not happy with that, and I was like, well, you know, if you hang around with those guys, I think you're going to get some kind of consequences like that.
In the end of May and going into June, of course, we did have this. Vocab Malone, you know, he's a well-known street apologist. He's a Protestant. He was looking into Orthodoxy, and he had been looking to talk to us for a little while. And so I was actually on his stream, and I got this clip from it. So I'm just going to add that because that was pretty funny. Let me see here.
Which guy was that?
That Vocab Malone is a street apologist. Let me see here. His channel is Vocab Malone, and I am trying to pull that up if I can.
I'll have to hear his voice.
Yeah, you'll recognize it in a second.
Yeah.
Let me just share it.
Man, it's been a long year.
Yeah, this is the end of May, beginning of June.
I know.
This has been one eventful year, and so many events have been going on that we're just like, I think this is when Father Boniface started looking at moving.
Oh yeah.
So it's been busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hold on.
Sir, gonna have our disagreements, but there's a difference between being able to talk with someone. I can understand
Absolutely.
You're gonna have a very different perspective.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
I hate you. I don't have to talk down to you. In fact, I would want to learn from you before I said, okay, well, here's agreements, here's this. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's there's a place for open discussion, and it can even be hostile. I'm not necessarily against that. If you genuinely believe something I'm doing is wrong, you should tell me. But the point is that the behavior that I've witnessed and I've dealt with, that's unacceptable. But I will still. People keep saying debate Jay Dyer. Set it up. I'm not afraid of him. Anyway,
I've hosted debates before. It's not the main thing I do here, but I have hosted them before. I believe I'd be very fair. I would love to host that debate.
I would have you as mod.
You and I, sir.
So, and that started what? How long was it?
The coward countdown.
The coward countdown. What was it? Like 90 days?
90 days, yeah.
So for the next 3 months, people were bothering him. He actually even went and at one point he said he refuses to do it because I don't have enough followers.
Well, I think that's when Apologetics Inc. May is when Apologetics Inc. started shunning him because they realized his tactic of non-debating debating. So.
Yeah, so exactly why I call him Jay Liar with a member chat. Thank you, Little Wayne. Little Wayne. And let me see. I'm the whole Roak Hakna GOC name worshiping thing. I'm ignoring these tweets because it seems like y'all are in a war right now, and I don't feel comfortable. I've already said my side. Lemon Jones said Jay was playing a video game and made a joke in passing about a character looking like Cleave to Antiquity. I don't defend Jay often, but I will in this instance. Okay, is that what happened? Okay, there was tacky. There was a communion agreement between Roak and Hakna, but it was rescinded due to administrative issues. Would those administrative issues be that Hakna got a Russian bishop? Because I still kind of remember that happening too. Roak booted Laurier over Emiuslavier. No, yes, deposed, defrocked, removed, and then he went and formed his own group, based with two defrocked bishops. A little touche. So according to Archbishop Andre, their position has changed since Laurier. I have no idea. I do not follow the name worshiper times. So it's not something that is I'm like big on, following every bit of drama that the name worshipers invent for themselves. What I am going to do is say, help keep the lights on. Support us by subscribing or donating at NFTU.net with various options like PayPal, Cash App, BTC, LTC, or XMR, or on Give, Send, Go. Just look in the description. And I've got I
think name worshiping is a cancer.
Yeah, it feels like an illness that passes through when people deal with it, and then
it festers for a little bit, and then the body rejects it.
Yeah. So that's the best thing, best way to look at it. RG, if that's the case, and the Synod in Russia is in trouble too, I hope that's not the case. I have no idea. I know that one thing I will say about I did learn is that our own Russian Synod had good relations over the past couple of years with Roak, where they would even say occasional Malibans together, so on and so forth. And it was Father Mark who told me that it was Andre himself who complained to the Synod that if they continued to even talk to them, that he was going to leave the Roak and go into schism. So he kind of bragged it out. And I'm like, what a jerk. I'm sorry, but seriously, who brags about causing damage?
This is how schism starts.
Yeah. Also, didn't TOCR also have Yugoslavia issues? Yes, it did. As a matter of fact, that's why we broke communion with them. And once we felt those issues had been resolved and they weren't talking about it anymore because the cancer had passed, then we re-entered into communion with them. Let's see. MPZ says, maybe you should convert to Orthodoxy. Memento Mori says, Nativity is almost here. Glory to God. This has been one really, really long fast.
Amen.
Yeah. And June 2025, we had the beginning with the 12-day war in Iran, including the U.S. bombing Iran, Operation Midnight Hammer. I want to say that's really kind of when Pope Leo started becoming more active. I'm trying to think what else was going on in June. There was just... isn't June... I want to say... Isn't that around when we discovered about the building? Let me just check here. Hold on.
Is it June or July?
Well, I think we first learned about it in July.
You have a clip about it. So.
Yeah, I know, but I think the clip is the later dated item.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, you did have some live streams you clipped it from. Yeah.
Yeah. I did what was this one? This was a chat with the Orthodox Muslim. All he do is lose. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think it was. It might have been in May actually that it started. Give me a moment. Double checking. No. Yeah. Yeah, it was May 6th. I published today's St. Alexis feast day, and they're selling the cathedral. That was actually the beginning of the subterfuge. Was that one, because I was under the impression that they were actually building, they were actually selling it to Protestants so that it could be demolished. That was what they said, and that was, basically, like, I'm gonna put that up here real quick. We'll put
later
me on
in
one.
the year, you got Ortho Christian famous, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I made it to Ortho Christian, a few other places.
Yeah. What was your first debate with Elijah?
Huh?
What was your first debate with Elijah?
That was actually a couple of years ago. Well, it wasn't a debate. He up until this year, he refused to do debates. He only did discussions.
I thought you had your first discussion like earlier in the year.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. I don't think we had any this year. But this year, this was around the time, it was in May, June, that Elijah was saying no one would be willing to debate him on the papacy. So I volunteered, and it took till like the beginning of December before we were able to. So it's crazy. It is crazy how long things are going. Wait, Reconquista, what's this? Reconquista with a $10 donation. Thank you so much for helping keep the lights on or helping rebuild the stairs. Tradcats argue that large numbers signify the truth. Good gay liar always dispels it as a fallacy. Number of members doesn't equate truth. Even if there was one GOC parish, it doesn't negate the truth. Absolutely true. And so I am going to add that to the banner. And so hold on one moment while we do.
Man, I would have done that one for free even if you didn't donate. That was good, Reconquista.
Yeah. Let's see here. So we are down to 11:30, which is, I know it's large, but I have faith because ultimately, I don't know how else we're going to get the stairs fixed. So yeah. And, let's see here. MPC with opinion says, can I debate Reader John? Well, anyone can debate anyone if they just want to jump on the stream.
What do you want to debate about, homie?
Yeah, please. We are fearless here on this channel. When we say we're willing to debate anyone, we actually mean it. We
actually meet our coward countdown.
Exactly. We put up where they shut up.
Yep.
Okay. That's why Jay Dyer failed so miserably and embarrassed himself, and now people realize he's just a little bit more. Yeah. Okay. RG says, let this nerd debate. RG88 says, also Reader John, please never say homie again. Reader John's been saying homie for a while, homie.
Yeah, I grew up in the streets.
In the streets. The Orthodox Field says, and yet they claim that God has an uncreated name. True. Anyone can come on. Just remember that.
I'm sorry. I've been getting in living color shorts in my YouTube.
Homie the clown.
Homie the clown.
How do you feel about yourself?
Homie don't play that game.
That's why homie don't play that. Anyway, all right. Let's see.
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce an uncreated name?
I don't know.
Through utterance.
If it's uncreated, that means that it precedes utterance.
Well, yeah, then it's an unutterance.
Sounds kind of zen to me.
It's an uncreated utterance.
It's kind of nonsense when you think about it. It's always really bizarre. They claim that God has an uncreated name. Read the entire thing. That's the typical rhetoric, the Arians and so many heretics saying, no, we're not saying that. Very true. Very true. And no, we are name glorifiers. Right. We've seen this before. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Let me see here. TA, thank you. You big help.
I'll tell you what.
I just got a donation via on Cash App for TA for $100. So that is a huge jump, and that will, God willing, help us continue to do this, get better at this. And we are now down to 1030. For the record, it becomes an automatic win at like 800 because then I should have just enough for the stairs minimum with that one contractor and for the permit. But I purposely put it up by a couple $100 because, frankly, things always go wrong.
I'll tell you what, you guys raise $800, I will never say homie again.
Whoa! I mean, I don't know. Can you keep that promise though?
Yeah, I can keep that promise.
Whoa. Okay, that's big. So thank you so much, TA. And we're now down to 1030. And we are now up to 170 in our total fundraise. So yeah, let's continue on. And this is going great. Give me just a second. Yeah, so okay, RG88 says Reader John can say homie if I can say come on, this is YouTube. Don't get me don't get our channel like struck, like that's how channels get struck, man. Like, I don't understand. I get like people why I don't get why people want to do that. But I also don't get why people want to do it. Like,
you don't, because you don't know me and you don't know what I can say and what I can't say. Last time I checked, we live in a free country.
Little Wing says, I like when you say homie, Reader John.
Well, thank you, Little Wing.
So,
you're my homie.
Yeah.
So unless you homie start donating now, I'm going to keep saying homie.
That's how it goes.
Yep. And
it sounds like the
and I'll even
is pro homie. So
I'll even sweeten the deal. If you guys donate $800, I'll stop saying it, and if I say it, I will donate $100 to the channel every time I do say it.
Whoa, that's crazy. So for $800, we could actually get Reader John to stop saying homie, which it seems like a lot of people really like him saying it. So I don't think that's actually going to help.
I'm talking for the haters. So.
Yeah, I didn't say the word probably. Yeah, I know. And LOL, that's right.
That's right.
MPC with opinion says, I don't know what I want to debate Reader John about, but he seems real debatable. Oof. Isn't that like kind of like, he seems real like that. Isn't that like kind of saying someone
that's cold-blooded MPC, come on.
Yeah. Daniel York says, thoughts, Father, on comparison to Rusin chants. I think many of them are pretty. But I don't have a deep thought on them. Little Wing says, whoa.
You know what's debatable? MPC sounds like Moscow Patriarchal Church. Oh, come on. You want to debate?
Yeah, let's see. Reckon says, don't be scared, homie. Nate Diaz, what? A sound. A sound has arrived. What is a sound?
$800.
Whoa! $150. MC, thank you.
Come on.
Hold on one second. That's awesome. Theodore enters the studio. Welcome, Theodore.
Good evening, fathers. Good evening, Reader John.
Good evening.
Good evening. God bless you.
Good evening. God bless.
Yeah, fathers bless. Thank you.
Okay, so this is great. Hold on one second while I'm just doing
haters are rich.
I'm doing complicated math here, okay? And I gotta check if MC actually voted for you to stop saying homie. Hold on. Okay. Hello,
what's up, Theodore?
Hey, so I had a quick question. I know you sent me that live stream you did on that Metropolitan Agafongo statement. I think that you did that live stream like 3 months ago. You know what statement I'm talking about, by chance?
I assume you're talking to Father Joseph.
Yeah, sorry, Father Joseph.
Yeah, I put a link. I put a link in the cafe on that. It is, and this is. Let me just show the screen of that particular episode. Hold on. If I go here.
Yeah, in between names. That's why I was telling you to read the whole thing. I I just need to make it clear, like my purpose in bringing these things up in the chat is not to be argumentative or even wanting to debate the issue, but it's more coming from a position of care and love, like actual care and love for people that are getting ensnared in this stuff, because it's very dangerous.
Yeah,
very dangerous. Anyways, sorry, go ahead.
It was this one. Let me see if I can make it bigger. It was the one called "The Biggest Divide in True Orthodoxy," and it's the easiest to find because its thumbnail is a picture of Metropolitan Agafongal and Metropolitan Cyprian. So
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So my question was, and I still maybe I missed the entire thing, but what was do you know what the context was as far as Metropolitan Agafongal posting that statement?
I don't remember the exact context. He was responding to someone. It was on Internet Sabor, and it was an editorial he did. And somehow I forget who brought up the claim of Cyprianism, and basically he was like, you know what, I'm sick of talking about this. Let's get right to brass tacks, and this is what it means, what you're talking about, why you're wrong. Yeah, so there was something that triggered him, but I don't remember what it was.
So he wasn't posting it as in like, hey, this is what I believe. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. Like he wasn't
making a creedal statement. He was making like kind of like observations on the situation.
Okay. Thank you for that. That's okay, I mean that context makes complete sense. I was trying to figure that out myself.
All right. Give me just a moment. I'm being asked to go to the cafe. Go to previous page. Okay.
From what I've noticed about Metropolitan, he's very straightforward. He doesn't mince words. So
yeah.
Okay. For Cherry Rodriguez, can you please approve Maiden Mother on the eCafe? Has just been approved.
All right.
Okay. So just letting you know, I really do. If you do, this is cafe time. Anytime that you're trying to get registered at YouFrozenUsCafe.com, if you let us know in the comment section, we'll get right to it. So yeah, Maiden Mother is now approved on the cafe.
NPC, I'm willing to have a discussion with you if you want to call in.
Yeah, anyone's welcome to call in. It is a call-in show, so
I won't debate. I don't do debates. It's not my thing, but I will have a discussion.
What about discussions?
I will do that.
Discussions. Yeah. So if you're willing to come on, I mean, I will kind of, us, the usual peanut gallery here, we'll just kind of semi-moderate or whatever.
I like peanuts.
Yeah. You have a very discussionable face, Reader John. So, yeah, Godzilla says there's no more thing called Cyprianism. That's the way I understand it. But hey, we'll keep
that
going.
was resolved like 11 years ago.
Yeah, it was. So this is give me a second. Just have to make a correction here, and so this is this is great. So thank you so much, everyone. Things are getting better. I
want to know what NPC really stands for.
Well, I mean, NPC is very commonly used, like in the gaming community for non-player characters. So that's my guess. They like to make a mockery of orthodoxy, says Lindurfer. He has to get a blessing from his Discord mod.
Oh no.
MVC says, how many of you in this chat are actually baptized? Oof.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Cold-blooded.
Call in.
Yeah, this has been a wacky time. So what are we up to now? June,
I think. June.
Yeah, June was when we started talking about the Wilkes-Barre Church, the OCA Church that had existed, that was originally built by St. Alexis. The current iteration has been around since the 1970s, and they were selling it to a Protestant church to demolish it. But then it turns out that, and I think, let me see if I can pull this up because I feel like I did save it somewhere. Give me a moment.
Meanwhile, you homies need to donate. Come on.
Let's see here.
I gifted some memberships earlier.
So I noticed that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for that. That's awesome.
The money should go straight to Father Joseph. I think maybe just a little bit less, being that it's a YouTube thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it'll be part of the YouTube stuff. And by the way, even if we make the total, but a lot of it is YouTube stuff. I mean, remember that we're actually towards the end of the month, which means that it does help, and I get that on the 20th, and it helps with bills. So however you want to help, you can. And I will add that as of right now, one moment, BS has come in clutch to help keep the lights on, keep the stairs working, as I should say. And so that was an assist of $50. So we are now at $370.
Oh, come on,
And-
guys. $430 and no more
down
homie.
the goal is now down to $830. So we're doing really healthy. So thank you so much for that. And so it's going and we're growing. So let's keep it up. And,
$430 and homie's gone.
Yep. Well, and then on top of that, of course, you know, I'm gonna try to stay on as long as I can due to the difficulty of the stairs. Like, I will stay later. I am working on it because
Plus, we're only in June.
yeah. So yeah, that's true. We're only in June. I have to finish the year, so either way, I lose. All right. So yeah. So in June, and now I'm looking for the stuff. Let me see here. Yeah, I think I did cover some of it. This was when, this is when the news hold on. The local news. Hold on. I gotta fix the screen. Reset that and I'll share. Let me see if I can get that. Okay, hold on. This is when we started making the news. Like, I'm not kidding. It was not me personally. I was making the ortho news. Like, I was on ortho. They talked about me on Union of Orthodox Journalists America. Meanwhile, like, someone in the GOC community was actually doing something to try to save that church. So here we go.
Yeah, I remember in all the above.
Dimitri has to say at Fox 56.
A former Orthodox cathedral that operated for more than 100 years is for sale, but a potential buyer is hitting some roadblocks in order to preserve and restore the space.
Star Wars brings us that story from Wilkes-Barre.
The Holy Resurrection Cathedral, a historic landmark in Wilkes-Barre, is now facing an uncertain future after the Orthodox Church of America's Diocese of Eastern Pennsylvania voted last September to close its doors. According to a statement from the diocese, the decision was attributed to structural issues and declining membership. A for sale sign now stands outside the cathedral, seeking a new owner. Dimitri Batitsis of Mountaintop has expressed interest in purchasing the property.
This church has faithfully served the needs spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally of the community here in Wilkes-Barre for over 125 years.
Batitsis learned of the sale in early May and was invited to tour the space.
We took a personal tour along with a contractor friend of mine. After our walkthrough, we were just surprised.
Batitsis believes that with some work, the cathedral can be revitalized for future generations.
Let's not lose the patient over a broken foot.
After another group's offer reportedly fell through, Batitsis submitted his own bid, hoping to secure the property.
When our offer letter fell on deaf ears, that the diocese of the OCA that maintains this church would rather have it demolished, that confused us.
As of this report, Wilkes-Barre zoning office has not received any demolition permits for the cathedral. In Wilkes-Barre, I'm Jake Sarwar, Fox 56 News, First 10.
And unfortunately,
Wow, that was the most accurate reporting I've heard of it.
Yeah,
Wow.
And unfortunately, this news report had the opposite of the intended effect, which was hopefully to encourage the OCA to try to preserve a beautiful, iconic building, and it made them want to go faster. Now, without any Protestants in the way, the OCA seemed more intent than ever to destroy the church.
And then they added that there was mold in it after the fact.
Yeah, they did. And it continued to, it got bad. And then finally, it wasn't much later. That was June, and let me just see here. What I can what? Hold on, we got a knock on the door.
All right, homie.
Oh, okay. DM, thank you so much. And that was a donation. I helped get the stairs up for $10, and so we are now at $380. So thank you so much for that. Everything counts. We're trying to get this taken care of as quickly as possible. And so let me see here. So we are now up to 380, and the goal is down to 870. Again, this is we're moving as fast as we can. And then let's see here. Yes, this is Dimitri Petisa's father's at the monastery in Kobel School. Yes, yeah, that's Father Christopher Petitas, and yes, he went into monasticism after the repose of his Matishka. And so let's see here. So that was crazy news. Now let me see if I can find when. Because let me see when that was ultimately destroyed. Because that was destroyed. Okay, so we're going to have to wait a bit on that because that was June when we started talking about it. And unfortunately, it took a couple of months for things to happen in there. So, yeah, let's see here. Let's see. This was now in June. This is also, if I remember, when the Rocor MP made a statement because the MP was starting to rehabilitate. They were starting to rehabilitate Soviet stuff, and they kind of finally made a statement on it. And I know that Bishop,
they're showing it off.
Yeah, showing it off. And Bishop Andre of Rocana in Australia actually wrote a critique of their behavior in June. This is also the week that the Patriarchate of Constantinople tried to shut down, and they did successfully shut down road access for Esfigmenu, meaning people were going to have to find other ways to get to the compound that were not using the road. So this we broke that down, and we talked about that around the third week of June. And let me think here. What else? What was happening in July? Let's see here. Well, let's see. July was crazy. This is a crazy year. July is that was when Ozzy Osbourne and Hulk Hogan died. So I mean, it was and the Gaza thing was still going on. The end of the 12-day war. I mean, let me just see if we got anything else going on in July that I missed. We were doing open debate challenges. Let me see what is this?
We had some crazy guests during the summer. I know that.
Yeah, we did. We did have crazy guests, and so that was
that transgender person.
I don't even. Yeah. Oh my goodness, it was weird. Yeah. We started doing more of the mockery of Jay Dyer because he was now 30 days in on hiding from us.
Yeah. Everybody was realizing what a coward he is. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was the funny part because people were like, "Why are you doing a thing for 90 days?" And I knew it was a slow burn because the longer it went on, the more obvious it became that he was afraid of us, and he would start, semi-responding because he was, nervous.
Oh, he would respond through other channels. He was too much of a coward to actually come up. I mean, we're live and we're open. He could literally just hit the link, come on
in. Yeah, that's what we do here. Let me see here. Lindorfer says, aren't Roac people not blessed to talk to Metropolia people since they are enemies? It is. I cannot validate whether Archbishop Andre ever said that. I know he personally does not like us. I know I made one desperate attempt when Ezekiel came here to save the cross after the demolition. I made an attempt to talk to him, and he had nothing positive to say at all. As a matter of fact, I think he was actually angry that I was talking to him. But I mean, he used to be my bishop. To some degree, I will always respect him for that. As I said, our synods in Russia were getting along. We have no reason to dislike or have an argument with him. That's his choice.
Well, and there's different levels of freedom as well. Like if
Yeah.
you're a layman, you have a lot more freedom than you would from being a reader or subdeacon or deacon or priest. So
Yeah. And it's nothing new. You could ask Father Mark. I did ask Father Mark about it, and he's Andre hates us. So it's that simple. It's not a doctrinal thing. It's not a synodal thing. It is a personal thing, and
a personality thing.
Yeah. Andre says Father Joseph is not a priest. Well, that's his opinion. A lot of people don't think I'm a priest. That's why I don't care when people call me Joseph, because I'm so used to it from World Orthodox people. The True Orthodox who hate me. There are some that do.
That reminds me.
The crazed Discord people. What?
When did Joe Nuts show up?
Joe Nuts show. I think that was probably around 8 months. That Russian Orthodox says because he is not, he's a twice married man. No, canonically I'm not, but you don't care. The Orthodox feels it because he's still a bishop. Andre, I get it. It's uncanonical. It's a question about the synod. We can talk to people from any synod. Yeah, but you're not supposed to refer to any of them as Orthodox or see any of them as Orthodox is the point. But, if you want to throw out lies about me, you can. But that's fine. The Orthodox field says until it can be 100% confirmed, he still is. And even if he isn't, it's still respectful to use titles. I let it slip. I let the Archbishop thing slip occasionally just because of the fact that I'm just used to it by now. I don't fully, let's see here. You came into the Rock with a woman with children you lived with and left them and left the synod because you were not granted a divorce and married another woman. All of that is a lie.
Hold on, Father. Hold on.
Yeah.
We need to be careful about slandering people.
Yeah.
Because you will be... Father can't really do anything about it except give you the truth, but you have to stand before God one day. And if we're all about seeking out our salvation, you might want to reconsider what you put in a live chat because you will have to answer for every word. Okay?
Yeah, if you'd like to make that accusation, by the way, to me directly, I would really appreciate it just to get it over with faster.
He could call on and then ask you directly from your point of view and what you experienced happen as well.
Yeah. In between names says, do you reject the existence of natural marriages before baptism? No, but they're impossible to determine, so that they require the church's blessing. That's why I said what I did. But that said, the cohabitation I was in was never blessed by the church, so it would make no sense for me to get an ecclesiastical divorce from the church, as I was never blessed with a marriage in the church. So yeah, no, that's wrong. And furthermore, that was something that I did address with my bishop. That was with my metropolitan. That was something that I addressed. I was willing to address in an essay form. Yeah. Let's see. I know your point of view as
bishops are the ones that apply the canon, and if the bishop took care of it, then it's a done deal.
Yeah. That Russian Orthodox says, I know your point of view as you told it before, while Father Mark has told me differently. Well, I don't know what Father Mark said about me. I noticed that this was brought up twice in this discussion. I don't think that it's, he can have an opinion, and I think everyone's willing to have an opinion. But what I don't like,
change.
what I don't like is this. Like you said, I know your point of view as you told it before, while Father Mark has told me differently. If I explain myself and then you write that, what you're doing is calling me a liar. And I don't appreciate that. And I am seriously considering booting you because of that. Because I don't mind if you want to disagree. I don't mind if you want to accuse me of something. But if I explain myself and you basically you're a liar, I don't have any reason to keep you there.
And another thing is that is an issue for the priests to address among themselves if there is an issue. Yeah. Not for you to come on this live chat and slander and make an issue of something that you have nothing to do with.
Yeah. God save us says, I'm not a fan of Bishop Andre, but we should be respectful and pray for him. I agree with that. impossible to determine. That's not what St. Chrysostom said in his exegesis of 1 Corinthians 7. I'm not. I'll put it. Let me put it in a better way. If it's not a church blessing, I don't recognize it as a legal marriage. I have no. I'm not going to play into the natural marriages game, etc. I am not going to talk about my toxic relationships with my ex. That's not why I'm here. I assume some people derive pleasure from applying high and mighty pretend exegesis to a life you don't understand.
Well,
And so,
and the issue is that he had to submit an essay form what the situation was to his bishop.
Yeah.
The bishop then takes into account whether there will be a reason for scandal. He takes in account father's salvation in the matter.
Yeah,
And there's-
hold on.
and
I will say, in between names, I take no pleasure in making anything difficult for you. You're a liar. Father Mark Template comes out and said, I have only hated related to people what Archbishop Andre has said about Father Joseph. Otherwise, I wasn't there. Thank you. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's what I was going to say. If Father Mark has an issue, he can address it with Father Joseph, but it seems there is no issue. So the real issue is you, sir.
yeah. So if you want to say cope, no, it's not cope. I lived through this. This is my life you're talking about.
And the bishop
but
has spoken.
It's not cope.
Yeah.
It's my life. So goodbye. Like, I'm not kidding. Like
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, you're okay. I don't believe you. And for fun, I'm gonna ban you too, because frankly, it's not even fun. I just don't want to read your noxious stuff about me.
Yeah, it's
You're
kinda
literally
tough.
coming on here and attacking me.
Slandering a priest. So you're going to have to answer for that.
I've kept my questions objective. I hope you notice that. I don't know. I don't know that that's true. I feel like your reference to natural marriage is a way of trying to tell me that, I have something that I didn't even know I was aware of that I should therefore be punished for. That's like, if that's not even the general church standard, you're applying an extra standard that most normal people don't apply just to take me down, to attack me personally. Why are you here? Just to make my life harder?
Well, I've never heard of natural marriage being a canonical marriage, because a canonical marriage, you have to, if something happens in that marriage, you have to seek out an ecclesiastical divorce.
Yeah, no, in between names, I'm just speaking academically. You're not. You're literally
That's
speaking
not really academic.
to somebody personally affected by it.
This is not academic when it's up to the bishop. The bishop does,
Laymen don't get to apply canons.
Yeah, it's the bishop, not us. So,
yeah, you're not speaking academically. You're making personal attacks. That's my last straw. Goodbye.
Slander.
Done. NPC says you seem mad about this. Yeah, because they're talking about me.
Yeah.
I want to try to. So fasting food wise, my wife made vegan chili the other day with quinoa.
That's fun to experiment with the little bubbles.
It was really good.
But man, I'm gonna have to get that recipe. I like chili.
NPC says if laymen don't get to apply canon, we wouldn't be able to apply canon 15 to leave world orthodoxy. That has nothing to do with judging the personal marital status of a priest based on rumors, based on lies, and ultimately, when corrected with the truth, to turn around and pretend like, oh no, I'm just speaking theoretically. It's academic. No, you're not. You're making personal attacks and justifying it. So that's that.
Well, when you talk about applying canon 15, the recognition of a bishop, somebody that is using canon 15 to leave their bishop, and recognizing that as a noble act. Who recognizes that as a noble act? The bishop, not a layman.
Yeah. NPC, God Save Us says NPC, you should leave here too because you're accusing these people of perhaps not being baptized. Reconquista says eat oysters. I agree.
I was baptized. I had to be baptized. I came from Judaism. So
yeah. Why? El Little Wing says, why is NPC here also? Such disrespect unacceptable.
No, NPC's kind of he's sassy, but he's not
he's not straight up attacking like people, Lindorfer says it's a small good group of dudes in a Discord server. Well, I will say, NPC.
Stop talking about Jay Dyer.
No more Jay Dyer talk here. Let me see here. So July was crazy. I guess we've got to get to August. Let me see what I can find here. In August, this is interesting. This was the month that we did the Sola Scriptura debate with Father James of Barely Protestant, and we did that on Cleave to Antiquities channel. And that was after Cleave to Antiquity had come on our show. Pastor Ben had come on our show to talk to us about true orthodoxy.
Yeah.
Orthodoxy.
Cleave to modernity. Wow.
Speaking of, he's not interested in true orthodoxy anymore, is he?
No, he's an ortho bro.
He went full ortho bro. It was a surprise to all of us. But that was when we had I had the debate with Father James of Barely Protestant, and it was protected for like 2 weeks because it was a paywall thing. And then it was like, I think a week later, Father Boniface, or 2 weeks later, you had your debate on ecumenism with Taylor Barrett.
Yeah, and I had actually emailed Pastor Ben, because at that time he only lived an hour and 15 minutes away from me. I would travel up to that area to a church I was going to many years ago, and he never got back to me. So, I mean, I sent out an olive leaf.
I don't think he took it seriously.
Yeah. Now, Orthodox Mom says, are there any cases out there of a twice married priest? For instance, an OCA marriage followed by a ROCOR GRC marriage. If there are, they would be very rare.
The Greek Orthodox Archdiocese.
Historically, I would suggest reading the book Tentativa Theologica, which was by Pereira, because it actually includes patristic cases where they took indigamists and ordained them, and trigamists in some cases. Not that it was a good thing or it was ideal, but they did do it. So a bishop does have the right to do it. That said, I have never heard of someone, say, leaving World Orthodoxy with a valid marriage and then not taking it with them and getting another one. That's no bueno. That's not considered acceptable.
Wait. Are you talking about somebody that was already ordained to the priesthood?
Oh, that's a good question. If they're ordained,
I think that's what they were trying to say, because the only ones I've seen is in World Orthodoxy.
Yeah, that from our perspective, that would be illegal, because once you're a priest, a married priest, if your wife passes or you get divorced, your future is the monastery. That's it.
Yeah.
One question actually is something been on my mind. As far as the canons go, are there cases where priests can be canonically released to another jurisdiction, or is it have to be within the same jurisdiction to another bishop?
It depends on the wording of the release. Bishops have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for, leeway in what they can do in terms of the release. Also, depending on the situation. As one of the few people I know of, the few true Orthodox clergy I know of who did receive a release, my release said that I could be released to any true Orthodox bishop willing to accept me. So
it depends too. So there's a release from one diocese to another within a jurisdiction.
Yeah.
And then there's a canonical release from one jurisdiction to another jurisdiction.
That is awesome.
And then if you're going old school, like all the way down to like the lower orders of the clergy, there are letters that are sent between parishes.
Yep.
So
letters canonical.
Canonical letters.
Main reason why I was asking is because one of the accusations against Father Mark is that he can't have a canonical release to another jurisdiction because canonical releases are only applicable to within a church, a local church.
Would be if they issued a release to begin. It's a choice, and the bishop and the synod have choices as to how they want to do releases of clergy.
Yeah.
But ironically, in this particular, despite the lecture from Archbishop Andre, the reality is he didn't give him a release at all. So
I'll bring up an issue and I'll take the heat for it. And this is not Father Joseph saying it. This is me saying it. The fact that if the timeline of Father Mark seeking a canonical release to another jurisdiction and then receiving a suspension for that, then Archbishop Andre has canonical issues working against him, because I've never heard of that in the history of the church.
Oh, 100%. He's my priest. That's why.
Yeah. I understand, but I'm just saying, I'm throwing that into the ether to the ROAC zealots. So
Well, from my understanding too, is that the synod of the GOC stepped in because they believed that his suspension was unjust.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Canonically speaking, yes, it was.
Let me see here. Orthodox Mom says, can a lay person be ordained a priest after 2 such marriages? It has happened historically, but it shouldn't. It's an abuse. It's an abuse. Let's see. MPC says he received a suspension because he made clear he no longer agrees with the teachings of the synod, is what he told me. Yeah, I heard that too, and that's because it seems like Archbishop Andre is taking more of a
But didn't he take a canonical release before that?
Yeah.
Well, then it's a moot point.
All right, just a reminder, everyone, as we continue on, we are now in August. So for just a reminder, we are now, the goal is 870. We're currently 380 up, and we're trying to get the stairs fixed. It's a big number. I have faith. And we still have, I'm going longer because we're in August, so we haven't even gotten through 2/3 of the year yet. So we're about to.
Wait, did we close out July?
Yeah, we did, because we're in August with Sola Scriptura debate.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
We did have that, and then Father Boniface had the ecumenism debate.
Yes.
And I'm trying to remember what.
Oh, the Cleves and modernity. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't. He joined. I believe it was September. He suddenly announced that he was going World Orthodox. So we're not there yet. We're getting right into September. There, the Ukraine war was getting horrible. Gaza. There were 123 deaths in August. Attacks in the Darfur region in Sudan. We get to September. And of course, the remembrance of September 11th. But right before September 11th, Charlie Kirk was shot. Yeah. And that changed political discourse in a way I'd never seen before in history. Okay. I don't understand the questions there. What is your opinion on the Hawaii Even icon? It's a holy icon. It's been a holy icon for years before any of this happened. Noodles. Thoughts on Nick Fuentes? Not nearly as many as you would think.
Don't forget about it at all.
Yeah, September was when, as I mentioned, Charlie Kirk died. The war in Gaza was really bad. Let me see here. And that was when the demolition stuff began on Holy Resurrection. It was right around in September. This was when give me a sec.
They didn't wait very long, did they? Wow.
No, we went from
that permitting office or zoning office works quick.
I don't even think they got a permit.
That's real quick.
Yeah, they got the permit, like I think in August, but nobody knew about it. And then next thing you know,
it crosses out in the yard.
Yeah, this happened. Well, this was the next stage in September. And then it was right at the end of September, and they first took out the windows and to speed up the decay.
Worse. So a lot worse than I thought. Yesterday it was reported they took out the stained glass windows. There's not even an attempt. To fix this. To keep it intact. You see, that's one, but this is where it gets really creepy. Look at this. Oh, please tell me that's not what I think I'm seeing. I thought they were gonna do something about the iconography. Oh my gosh. It's all in there. Let me see if I can. You can see the iconography is all intact. Why is there so much glass here? This. Yeah, we're keeping out. Don't worry. Scary signs, black cat. This is depressing. Well, keep out. Look at that. Now you have a clear view of the angels and stuff that are going to get torn down. This is terrifying. I'm actually afraid. I wonder if this is going to be the only part that survives. Little house here, but maybe the whole thing's going to get demolished. Honestly, this is obscene. Yeah, police patrolled under surveillance. That's okay. We're just recording. This is the saddest thing I've seen in ages. And I'm not even kidding. It's as though trying to even discuss the possibility of saving this church has made it worse. So yeah, we came into that, and unfortunately, by September 29th, we were just maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks away from what would happen next. So, I mean, I'm not comparing the collapse. I mean, Charlie Kirk's death was important, but that temple's destruction was important too. There's cannon breaking all over True Orthodox. There's cannon breaking everywhere. Okay, let's see if I can play catch up here. Do you mean Father John Copeland? Yeah, I think they meant Father John Copeland. Okay, Bishop Andre had to not recognize the GOC after that because John Copeland was deposed by them. I feel like that whole case was really a big misunderstanding, which made things worse. He was reordained by the GOCK without his knowledge. Sounds false to me, as I had talked to Sava earlier, and he told me in the footage that Father John was received under Metropolitan Demetrius' omophore from his throne, which would indicate that he was just given an absolution. So I don't know that. God Save Us says, interesting how Archbishop Andre lost his only real parish after receiving a deposed priest. I feel uncomfortable moving forward on that one, so I'm just gonna walk on that. Interesting how he has managed to run off pretty much his entire diocese. Yeah. Unfortunately true. They still have a mission in Louisiana. Frontima says, is Barnold here? He's been in and out.
I mean, that's the fruits of moving into schism.
Yeah. About 13 people. That's beyond cannon breaking. I talked to him about this himself, I'm sure. Arnold says, quit bothering me, Matt. I feel like Frontima Municipality 2 isn't Matt, to my knowledge. Unless it's a different Matt and they have the same name.
I don't know if it's so much cannon breaking or if it's the cannon's not being applied in the way that you want it to be.
DJ688 says, I've spoken with Father John and think it's clear you don't know the whole story. Oh, I've spoken with Father John also. That's why I have the opinion I do. I just think you're probably wrong on it because I'm looking at it from an administrative perspective, not a personal and emotional one. Anyway, so let's take a look and see here once again. Just a quick note. We are now going into October. Our goal
to reach is at this point 870. We've raised 380. We're trying to raise a lot of money because my stairs have collapsed in the front of the house. If I need to kind of inspire people with sympathy pictures, give me just a moment and I will do that because I have no shame and because things are, I need to get it fixed because otherwise we're going to start getting tickets on it. And so, let me share that real quick.
And I hope you guys despise the word homie enough to help.
Well, let's take a look. This is kind of where it is. It used to all be straight and narrow. Unfortunately, it is no longer. This happened around the 24th.
Did it rot?
I guess it just had already collapsed, which was the weird thing because that would indicate that it collapsed overnight and nobody had stepped on it. This is it from the side. You can see that this stair, the second stair, well, it's technically the first stair broke. The front broke, which caused the other stairs to kind of back into the ground. And so this is kind of like leaning on top of a stair, and then the rest is just sort of hanging. And the only way to walk it is on the left-hand side because the right-hand side is completely collapsed, and we don't know when the whole thing's going to split and fall apart.
I wouldn't use that. I'd put like a plywood, plywood over
Yeah,
it.
well, I think Matushka Stephanie suggested, covering it. We might have to either cover it with plywood or with tape. And we have a back entrance, which, I mean, not the most comfortable with using, but I'm a little more comfortable with that than this because this is just straight up unsafe. And again, so we were quoted for a fix at $750 from the cheapest contractor. This is it in the snow after the deep freeze and the ice.
That's a full rebuild.
Huh? Yeah, no, it's a removal of this thing and a whole new staircase. This wood can't be reused.
I wonder if they would cut you some money off if you demolished it yourself.
I don't know. But then I think maybe wouldn't that make the ticket people come faster if there's a front of a house without a staircase at all?
No, I'm saying if you had the money lined up to have it rebuilt, you could save money by hauling it off yourself. If you have the ability to do so.
Maybe. I mean, I haven't looked at how to take it off yet, but I guess I could. But
I don't think it's hanging on by much. Look at it.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's almost like it is pretty easy to take off yourself. The question for us is whether or not that's going to make code enforcement come and ticket our house faster, thus increasing our costs, etc. So we got a contract listed for $750, and the permit, if necessary, is $119. And I just basically, once I added that together, it said $860. Basically, I said $1,200 because things happen. Things happen. They always happen. So I'm going to say thank you so far for everyone who's helped out because we are currently at 380 with a goal of 870. And we're going to continue now to get back to the year in review. We're getting close to the end. So let's, we're now in the end of September. So we're heading to October. All right. Let's see here. There's new comments. I've spoken with Father John. I think it's clear you don't know the whole story. What's for the one attacking Father John, not for Father Joseph? Okay. That's fine. Sorry. Didn't mean to. Elizabeth says Barnold respond. That to compromise says block the entryway. Then no one can sue if they fall through. Yeah, that seems like the smartest thing I'm going to have to do. I was thinking of taping up the whole thing, but apparently people are concerned about letter carriers and things like that.
Yeah, because you can be held liable for anybody that gets injured on your property.
Yeah, I know. And these are serious problems, and we have to come up to
just tape it off.
Let's see. God says, if you think it's me, I wasn't attacking him. Gabriel Michael said needs a total rebuild, perhaps with brick and concrete. Gabriel Michael, people have been suggesting that a lot. And unfortunately, I really do think it's more expensive based on the estimates. But I would love to redo it in brick because then I'd never have to think about it again, basically. It's a lot more expensive. It's closer to $2,000. RG88 says Father Joseph's stairs have been attacked by the Imyaslavias. Well, that would explain why they are still half intact, because Imyaslavia is weak.
Oh,
Barnold says, Father, can you ban this guy? MPC with a video says, oh, wow. Barnold says, it's Matt. God says, who is Matt? MPC says, can you move the mailbox? I don't think so. That mailbox is screwed into the wall. Yeah, I mean, now there is another possibility I have to think about, because I could have sworn we do have a standing mailbox. We would still need another one for next door, but I know that my son has a standing mailbox. Maybe there's a way to move. I don't know. I have to think about all
Or you
this.
can get two on one post. I don't know if you've seen that.
Well, we don't have them on posts. They're attached to the. They're on the porch. So.
Well, no, I'm saying if you do a freestanding one.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. We can add a mailbox.
Yeah.
So you're trying to hire a contractor to fix it?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I personally believe, and this is what nobody else in the house believes, but I personally believe that I could put the streakers on myself and I could hammer down wood myself.
You could fix it. Yeah, I was gonna say.
But everyone
Well, it
thinks
depends
that,
what the code is.
yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna have to pay code enforcement either way, but
yeah.
You know, I'm also not gonna lie, I don't really usually do these kinds of projects at all. So I think part of the reason people don't trust me is because I don't strike them as particularly a handyman type, which is
Well, there's always learning.
I'm embarrassing myself, but I'm being honest, and that heartfeltness I hope comes across, and people choose to tone as they realize I sound even more pathetic than most people think. Barnold says Fronema is Matt. I don't know that I don't think it is. I think, and Fronema says you should just sit down and shut up. Barnold says Father, ban him. Shion Template says it's a load-bearing mailbox. I'm a load-bearing person at this point. Could you not just buy some wood, make a mold, and pour store-bought concrete in? Okay, this is where it starts sounding like stuff where I know that everyone's going to be like, "Don't touch it."
I mean, you could do concrete block. That's true.
RG88 says Father Joseph moved to Minnesota so you can get in on the Somali autism fraud. That's December. We are not talking about that yet.
We're still in the end of September, guys. Come on.
This is painful. This is painful. Yeah. While I suspected it would be a little more costly, but not as costly as that, stick with the sturdy weather-treated wood with good sturdy coated metal hangers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why 750
750
actually sounds like a bit of a bargain, but
yeah, it really does.
So hopefully we can get close. Actually, I think to some degree we actually are getting sort of close, but we definitely do need help. But so yeah, help you keep the lights on, help keep the stairs up. Support us by subscribing or donating at NFTU.net with various options like PayPal, Cash App, BTC, LTC, or XMR, or on Give and Go. Just look in the description.
Come on, homies.
Okay. This is Father DJ688 says this is Father Chad using a family member's account, checking in. Gotta go, but can you plug my new translation? Yes, I can. Give me just a moment because I know I did last week, so I will mention it one more time. Give me a moment, and that was it.
New translation. Oh,
hold on. Was it?
Excuse me.
I'm trying to find it. Oh yeah, I know how to find it. One moment.
Meanwhile, you guys can make a donation.
Yes, if anyone wants to make a donation while we're doing this, please do, because we are trying to work on our stairs and we do need help. So let me pull this up while I do that. Share screen. The book is The Dogma of the Atonement, Discourse on the Teachings of Metropolitan Anthony Krapovitsky by Bishop Theophano Polchava, translated by Father Chad Arneson. So if that does interest you and you are interested in the controversy, it is a necessary historical text to work with. So just a note. And so, yep. And Yep, not a problem. Let's see. They sell concrete stairs at home improvement stores. I don't know where you live, but where I live, they run about $300.
Yeah.
I get it. And I'm not against it, but I kind of feel like no one will let me do that. I will be stopped. Although, poured concrete stairs, let me just see here. I mean, that might be well, it's a solution. It's definitely a solution. So
I mean, if you gotta get rid of the stairs and have to have something there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
concrete stairs. Let me just see what's available to us, see if I understand it. I mean, maybe we can do that. Maybe
it
that
just depends on your code requirements and what has to be there and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Okay. So concrete stairs. Hold on. So okay, these are concrete step blocks. They're out of stock, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Precast concrete stairs. I don't know. Do these have to be like? Don't they have to be like concreted in or something?
Not necessarily.
My Matishka is giving me such a look right now.
It's winter here. You can't do concrete.
She said it's winter here. You can't do concrete.
If you're pouring it, no. But if it's already precast, then
well, what about precast concrete? Because that's if you're pouring the concrete. But this is pre-made concrete.
Yeah, they're blocks. It's already pre-made stuff.
Yeah. For Reader Johnson, what he said they're blocks. So I'm gonna send you this that you can look at.
Just let her look at it. She'll give you the fingers up or the fingers down pretty quick.
She'll give me some fingers. I'm sure of that. Anyway. Okay, but I did.
You're supposed to say that in your head, Father.
I'm so cooked.
Inner monologue.
Anyway. Let me see here. Yeah, poured concrete stairs. All right, thanks. City code stuff gets us. Oh, especially in this city.
Yeah. I'm familiar with Pennsylvania. It's like passing through the eye of a needle.
RG88 says Reader John doesn't know anything about cold, homies.
I've lived where it's cold. Yeah, I do. You can't really pour concrete. You do. Well, you can, but you don't want to.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to it. We get to the tragedy of October as we get to, finally the kind of the last, this was the end of the battle for the church would be, let me see here. Yeah, this was, let's go through them. This was the, hold on.
On Columbus Day, I thought everyone would be off. This is horrifying. You're at the site for Columbus Day. I think the demolition is come out.
Yeah, so that was something. I don't. We did see that, right? It was up there. Hello, hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, okay, yeah. So that was the tragedy at the end of September, which was finally, we got the tape together for that. It was pretty sad. Gabriel Michael asks, is the port structure the same age as the stairs? I'm not sure. Although the
Oh,
port
yeah, that's a
structure
good
seems
question.
the port structure, I would say, actually does seem solid. It is on concrete, but the wood on it is old, but it doesn't seem abused. Whereas when we got the stairs, we didn't know what to make of them. They looked like they had been kind of cobbled together in some weird non-standard fashion. Like, because most stairs we're used to, they have those risers on the side.
Yeah.
Not this one. It
So they were
seemed to,
freestanding?
yeah, it was freestanding, and it seemed to be free balance stair off
Oh,
stair.
no.
Yeah, it was definitely built the wrong way. So we looked at that. We were like, that needs to be taken care of sometime, and sometime has come sooner than we expected.
I mean, you can make those kind of stairs, but not for a heavily traveled area.
No, absolutely not. So in any case, yeah, cinder blocks work better, Barnold. Little Wing says, I've actually used railroad logs for steps before. They work, and actually they look good. I wouldn't even know where to find those. Yeah. Delta Compromise says, oh, wow, LOL. This very saddening sight. The internal iconography was beautiful. It absolutely was. It was a stunning church, and what a shame. And the Diocese of the OCA put out a statement condemning people who were trying to stop the demolition as vile schismatics or something. So that was cool. We got
To
mentioned.
preserve a church? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, amazing. The vile schismatics wanted to save the church, those monsters.
Oh, goodness.
Let me see here. Little Wing says, yep, just dug in deep in the mud. Little stepping stairs up to a levee dirt road, simple and sturdy. The destruction of the church is heartbreaking. Railroad logs, not for porch stairs. Oh, okay. Well, they are porch stairs. So
Yeah, those are more for like retaining walls.
yeah, but in any case, yeah, it was a saddening sight. One of the most tragic things we'd seen, and it was kind of shocked. It made even the UOJ and a lot of World Orthodox news, because when you're thinking about the war in Ukraine, a lot of these churches are getting bombed and destroyed, and so the idea that a country that is totally in peace, that the bishops would just be like, hey, let's destroy a church, just is alien to the rest of the world.
It should show you how the World Orthodox think about the sacred.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it was very revealing about the OCA. They'd rather demolish the church than give it to people they consider schismatic, but they have no problem selling it to Hindus, to Copts.
Neo-pagans.
Okay, Dead to the World says railroad ties, treated lumber. Okay. I don't even know how this would work. I don't even know what a railroad tie is. Is that like the wooden thing they use for the tracks? I just revealed how little knowledge I have at this. Right?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No. So what we have is treated wood and railroad ties, like holding up our retaining walls. I wouldn't use it for steps. I mean, you could if you needed to, but I mean, if you have a more solid solution like a precast set of concrete blocks, that'll be a lot better. And since you're in an area where you need to salt and put melt down and all that stuff, concrete would hold up better than wood.
Yeah. Arnold says, I still think cinder blocks better. Okay.
Cinder blocks crumble over time, though.
Yeah. RG says install an elevator. I mean, it's 5 steps.
I mean, if you could do concrete block or brick or stone or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, install called sleepers in certain places. Well, that's what I think these things are called. These are called springers, the things that go on the side. Like I just figured you could just put up a 5-step springer on both sides. Get that into connect that to the porch, and then just put lumber on top of it and just screw that
Oh, are
in.
you talking about the metal structure where you inlay the wood into the steps?
No, I'm talking about those things on the side, the diagonal things that this doesn't have.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, those are stringers.
I
But
got you.
yeah.
I like to see how many hangers are under that porch, though.
Yeah, Dead to the World says no one likes to step on Legos. RG says, will Reader John stop saying homie if I build you new stairs?
Yes.
I don't know. Are you donating stairs? Or are you saying you want to come and build our stairs? I don't understand you.
Yes, I will stop saying homie if you go build him stairs.
Lindorfer says, anyone else just love a crisp ice cold Dr. Pepper? Yeah, I have family who do.
Yes, I do.
Yep. Okay, and Reader John does.
That's my thing.
Dead to the World says no one likes to step on Legos. Barnell says use Legos. Okay, this is not helpful.
You can't put
guys.
salt on Legos.
Yeah. Let's see here. So yeah, again, help keep the lights on. Support us by subscribing or donating at NFTU.net with various options like PayPal, Cash App, BTC, LTC, or XMR, or on Give Send Go. Just look in the description. Let me think, because October was a pretty crazed month. You know, the aftermath of Charlie Kirk was still crazy. Gaza and Ukraine were crazy.
The beginning of the Texarkana cult.
Yeah, there were the Gen Z protests in Morocco. There was violent clashes throughout the subcontinental region. The Middle East was still a mess. People were trying to the government closed down. Didn't the government close down?
Yes.
Yeah, the government closed down in October.
Yeah.
And then it was like closed down for a month, and people were starting to get freaked out. And that was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think they opened it up in like.
I remember because I had to fly like a week after it had opened back up.
That's right. All the flights were affected.
Yeah, I was like, "How's this gonna happen?"
Yeah, that was bad. I'm trying to think what if there was any church stuff that happened. I'm trying to think. Not too much. You know, again, the aftermath.
That was the heating up of the Texarkana cult stuff.
Oh, the Texarkana cult. I did. Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about them already.
Yeah. Well, they're in the coward category with Jedi.
Yeah. And so that was crazy. That was a crazy month as well. And so October was bad. And of course, everyone was worried about the government being shut down. And then we get to November, and I had the debate with Elijah Yassi. Let me see here. Barnell says Indian invasion in Texas and Somalia invasion in Minnesota. Well, that in Minnesota has been going for a few years. RG88 says started smoking cigarettes so I can eat oysters and drink Dr. Pepper while watching NFTU. Now you sound like a man after Reconquista's own heart, because he mentioned that I think eating oysters and drinking something.
Yeah, I only do 2 out of the 3 there. I can't do smoking anymore. I quit.
Yeah, the boys are thirsty in Atlanta, and there's beer in Texarkana. Grass jelly 40 days diet can change your life. Yeah. Oh, well, that was one of the things that was a personal change for me. It was in May when I asked God in prayer, and I said I wanted to get serious about losing weight, and I lost 70 pounds by, I believe it was August.
This is the year of Father Joseph becoming lesser of a.
Yeah, like if you watch, like even if we get to the beginning of the reviews, when you see me on the screen, I actually look fatter. So that's pretty impressive.
Was that how I was going to put it? But okay.
All right, I'm taking off, everyone.
No problem. Theodore, God
bless.
bless you. You have a great night. In the name of the Father, and the Holy Spirit.
All right, good night.
And let's see here. Let's switch it up to the boxes again. Texarkana is where Atlanta's beer comes from. I get the impression clams are better than oysters. And so
personal preference.
Yeah, personal preference. The cult was what's the cult? Barnold says it was some this anti-Nicene group, and they wanted to debate
the Niqab cult.
Yeah, the what?
What is it? Niqab or
Yeah, they were big on niqabs and stuff, and then they basically what I realized is that they were really looking more for attention. So they had a very showy attempt at a debate. I was surprised by their weird and dishonest approach.
Yeah.
A bunch of people came on, including Father Boniface, I believe Reader John, Father Chad, and what I forget his Jacob came on, and he's doing his thing now. But they basically all answered this guy and made him look bad. So the cult then took the second half of the debate out and put that on their channel as a full debate. And I realized that they were going to be dishonest and try to use us as funnels. So I moved the debate to NFTU 2, where it will probably barely be seen. And I kept the full debate up for people who are genuinely looking. And with that,
that's what happens if you combine Protestantism, Islam, and autism.
Yep. And so, yeah, that was crazy. The texts are kind of cool, like Muslims with no cool stuff. Yeah. But anyway, so that gets us to November. And in November, that's kind of, it was a big month. That was obviously the month of the shutdown. There was an earthquake that killed something like 3,000 people in Afghanistan. In South India, there was flooding and landslides that killed people. They held the G20 in South Africa, so that was a first, but it turned to get overshadowed by all sorts of violence in Africa.
I was gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah. That's part of it. There was a massive fire in an apartment building in Hong Kong that killed something like 150 people. It was crazy. Then on top of that, Cloudflare had issues. Google had issues. X had issues. AWS had issues. It was terrible. Yeah. But we did get our debate finally with Elijah Yassi, and that was on the Gospel Truth channel. A copy of it is available here, so you can always watch that if you would on the papacy. So that was a classic thing.
And they're still crying after that.
Yeah. And let's see here. Eastbound and down, but we're all driving to the chapel in a trailer park in Florida. Okay. So yeah, it was crazy. But then after that, we get to December. This past month, it has been chaotic. I didn't even go through my personal life. I think it was in August. My car broke down, the frame, and people were kind enough to help bring that back because it was like a $4,200 repair. It's been a crazy year.
I don't even know about the inside baseball of all our health issues in the background.
Let's see. Reconquista says Kash Patel wife is confirmed Mossad agent. Akash wife lied about being a nice girl and poop festival in India. Big L in the Indian world November. That's right. That was when the poop festival was discovered in that one village by what's the name of that reporter guy?
What?
Yeah, it was. Hold on, I'm drawing a blank. Reconquista, what's his name, real quick? That it was a. He's gotten big in the past.
I'm reading the wrong kind of news articles, apparently.
Well, give me a second. No, hold on. Okay, hold on.
Mine are boring compared to
Tyler Oliveira. Tyler Oliveira basically made it famous. Somebody told him about a poop throwing festival in India, in some village, and he had to go see it, and it was crazy. That video is on YouTube. And a whole bunch of Indians were mad because it was a single village, but it was a huge it was pooptacular. And I will leave it at that.
Poor Mr. Henke.
Obviously, communists wanted New York to take over the city in January, so that's going to be a disaster. We can't wait to watch unfold. And then we get to the month of December. The month of December has been, crazy. There's been conflict between Thailand and Cambodia. Then there was all sorts of things. The guy from Honduras was released after Trump pardoned him.
Mm-hmm.
Sudan is on the verge of collapse after almost 3 years of civil war.
When did Aladdin show up?
Aladdin. That was November, and I wrote him a few weeks ago. I haven't heard from him since.
Oh, how can you?
Yeah. And Adrian Wyatt says the OCA hierarchy is shown for its wanton destruction of the Church of their local saint in Wilkes-Barre and their mischaracterization of the faithful as vile schismatics that they hate God's people. Absolutely true.
Yeah, there were some World Orthodox that were talking behind the scenes. So
Yeah, they weren't, but yeah.
apparently they're vile schismatics, even though they're in communion with them.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
pretty sad. Let's see here. So yeah, ICE is a big thing this month. The biggest thing we've seen, even all the way down to the wire at the end of the year. A new independent journalist named Nick Shirley was investigating in Minnesota and had found a bunch of fraudulent daycare centers that had no children in them to the tune of $110 million.
I saw that right before we came on.
Government corruption. That was literally like yesterday.
Yeah.
So it appears that down to the wire for 2026.
Tied to the governor, apparently.
Yeah, it's going crazy. Yeah, they can call us Christians. We can call them Mohammedans. Very true. So, yeah, it has been one very, very wild ride.
What a year.
What a year it's been. It has been absolutely crazy. And it doesn't seem like it's going to slow down anytime soon. I do find it interesting. We finally had a cold winter this year. Hadn't had one of those really cold winters in like 5-6 years. So I was kind of happy for it.
Well, just knowing the health issues I've been going through this year, I'm just thanking God I made it through.
Yeah. It's been a hard year all around. Father Boniface, it's been a year for you too.
Yeah, he had well, I'll let him talk about it if he wants to. So.
Father?
Is he still here?
He might have walked away. Well, when he comes back, hopefully. Are you there, Father? Okay. Reconquista said, Father, take aspirin and progesterone and thyroid medication. You can get it in Mexico pharmacy.
Tijuana, right?
What does that mean? What does aspirin plus progesterone and thyroid medication do?
Well, it'll definitely help you lose weight. Maybe not the way you wanted to.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be very scary.
Like
I don't know.
Like
I'm grateful for the way that
cocktail.
worked. I'm grateful for the way that worked for me. Father Boniface, you back? I don't know.
How about you just buy him some Chuck Norris drink? That'd be a lot safer.
Yeah, just buy me the green drink. I miss my green drink. I've incorporated various medications.
You forgot to mention you ran out of green drink.
I ran out of green drink in what was that? February or something?
July or August, wasn't it?
No, I thought I ran out of it because I don't remember mentioning green drink too much this summer. I think that was last summer.
Oh yeah.
This has just been one crazy year. I've been out of green drink for ages. Yeah, so we have made it. 2025 is ending with a bang. Yeah, and that
was before the election. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Big year for Orthodox books. Orthodox Traditionalist Publications has been putting out a lot of books. Some of them really, really good. You have to check that out, especially if you are doing Christmas presents on Nativity the way we do, etc. And my book, God willing, will be released by Nativity. So it won't make it into any stocking stuffers, but it hopefully will at least make it into
be Lulu or
some theophany things. And also, Reconquista, I think, asked about Noche Buena, which is January 6th. It's the eve. It's technically Christmas Eve. So I would just say start wishing everyone Merry Christmas early, and then go to church and enjoy the end of the fast and the celebration.
What avenue will you be releasing your book there?
I am most likely going to be doing self-publishing through Amazon. Okay. Reconquista says, Father, time to move from green drink to purple drink. Never.
Oh, hopefully, unlike the subdeacon, you'll offer a Kindle version.
I probably will. Just because I have my goal is to get the books into as many hands as possible.
Yeah.
But also, it's we'll see how it goes. Yeah. But yeah. All right. Well, we did it. We have discussed everything through 2025. Were we successful in raising the money for the stairs?
Sort of.
Not really, sort of. We had some success. We did raise $380, which I am massively grateful for. A lot of people came in to help, and a lot of you. We got our first gifted memberships today. That was interesting.
And I still get to say homie.
Yeah, you still get to say homie. And so the goal, we didn't get to 75% or 100%. So of course, we will finish the year off with that famous sound.
Losing, but really winning.
Yeah, we did. We did what we could. Okay, that's enough. Anyway, Father Boniface, you back yet? I don't know where he went. Oh, there he is. Oh, okay. You had a crazy year too, Father. We were going to ask you to kind of summarize it because it's been busy everywhere.
Oh my goodness. Well, I had to move, and that was a gigantic. But in the meantime, I had 4 operations.
Wow.
A hernia, could take away my prostate, and then I had 2 cancer operations. So, it's been hard on the bod this year. I'm here. I'm glad to say that. And so, but it's still a struggle, getting physically back on my feet. But so far, the Lord has been gracious. And so, anyway, yeah, I guess those are the big events. The move was tremendous. And I tell you what, this house is a big gift to God. It really is. It's great. It's going to be, it's going to keep me busy. That's for sure. But I'm happy to be here and to see what the Lord's going to do. And I'm happy to see some developments too, in the work of the Lord, and some people coming together and having fellowship over the internet, and women, and then and so I'm happy to see some nice things happening, and I thank God for your podcast, and how the Lord has used it. It's just tremendous. So that's kind of a little summary of.
And since it's the end of the year, do you have any updates on Haley or anything that we talked about during the year?
Continue to pray. I haven't heard from her. A few of us have not heard from her, and so so we're just kind of praying for her, and so on that account, just continue to pray. Nothing else.
Let's see. Debt to Compromise says, can Reader John do the audio version, I guess, of this book? I mean, if you want to, you've got the voice for it. I mean, I wouldn't say no. That, and I wouldn't want to have to read it. Atomic Lead says, just because you can say homie doesn't mean you should.
But if you pay me, I never will.
That's true. Pay the man $800 and he'll never say it again. And Ayana Kari asks, any predictions for 2026? Triumph of True Orthodoxy? Scandals we didn't see coming? Well, I tend to think we've been True Orthodoxy has been triumphing since the better part of COVID, and it continues to do so. So I mean, that's not really a prediction. That's just watching the snowball effect.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I got a prediction.
Okay.
The closer they draw towards the papists, the more they're going to hemorrhage, the more we're going to grow.
Yep, that's absolutely true. And it sounds like this Pope is very, very intent on making that happen. Yep. So scandals we didn't see coming, you could say that they're kind of the flip side of each other. So you can almost say that that's all going to occur for everyone. Let me see here.
I got a comment to make. This Christmas has been, or let's say the secular Christmas, has been one of pretty serious stuff going on throughout the world, but also in America, especially with Islam. And, they're trashing big store events, Christmas trees. They're, they were at what? They were at Times Square en masse, clogging up the streets, doing their prayers on purpose. And they're doing that throughout the world. They did it in, of course, they've done in England, France, but also in Moscow, of all places. And so, I remember years ago, seeing the changing of the tide as far as the radio. I didn't listen to radio much at all, but the Gnostics and the Satanists were really getting very vocal in their anti-Christian output on concerning Christmas and being very blasphemous. And
Yeah.
so I haven't listened to stuff like that, but I'm sure it's there. But so we're really seeing a tide of movement against Christianity, and of course the secular world, which was quote Christian, has done nothing to defend the faith at all, and they just remain apathetic and let it all happen. There's no fortitude in them, but when they meet a religion that has some fortitude, they fail, they capitulate. So
Well, I think that's one of the reasons that Orthodoxy is increasingly attractive to people, because we don't do that, and even our world Orthodox counterparts pretend not to do that. So, I think that's one of the reasons that Orthodoxy has suddenly become enamored in the American national interest. We're seeing it more and more, and it's getting harder and harder to avoid.
Yeah, praise glory to God. Yep.
So it's been crazy. It has been absolutely, insane. And so, God willing, we will close out 2025. I am most likely not going to do a New Year's thing. I was thinking about maybe doing a countdown. But I think I kind of want to spend I want to spend that time with family.
I have a resolution for next year, though.
Huh?
I have a resolution for next year, though.
What's the resolution?
To proclaim true orthodoxy more boldly.
Absolutely, I think that's a good That's a good resolution. Good news, Father Bonho's Barnold says, "Good night, everyone. Good night, Father Joseph. Good night, Barnold. May God bless you in the Father, and the Holy Spirit." And so as I have learned over the years, and I wish this for everyone, if this is the last time we see each other on this side of the year, and we see each other until next year, I did learn a very interesting thing about Chinese culture a few years back. Do you know how they toast each other on New Year's?
No.
They toast each other with "May you be rich." I found that an interesting thing, and I'm always pretty poor, so wishing my family for them to be rich it feels kind of good. It sounds awful, but that's maybe I don't know. It's not something to aspire to, I guess, but it would solve my stairs problem. But anyway, create a whole bunch of new problems. But
yeah, more money, more problems.
Exactly, homie. So with that, I'm gonna just say, real quick, thank you to everyone, to Father Boniface and Reader John, who are always here and always great help and great contributions to the show. Thank you for others who came on. Thank you, Theodore, for coming on, and for anyone else who did. For those who asked questions and had comments, and those who support our mission, support the channel. We at NFTU need your help. Support us by subscribing or donating at NFTU or give us a no. We remember all of you in our prayers, and thank you for all the support for NFTU. As always, let me see here. Last questions. Ayana Kari says, any plans for permanent streams during the week in the new year? Until I can get the babysitting schedule stuff taken care of, which I hope will be taken care of in the next month or so. I can't make that guarantee for anything.
Yeah, family
Sunday.
takes priority.
Yeah, but I will keep trying, and I will try to make clips, and I will try to get other things happening. But I can't make that guarantee right now. But we're always here Sunday. So,
and if you don't have a stream during the week, a blessed nativity to all.
Yeah, and hopefully,
Amen.
Well, remember, we won't even at next week. It'll be January 4th. So.
Well, I'm just saying if I'm not available.
Okay,
that might
makes
be
sense.
because that's my wife's birthday.
Understandable. Reckon Keys says Biggie was a fat philosopher. Okay. Little Wing says, thank you. God bless all. No problem. Thank you. And for everyone else, have a great night. And through the prayers of Holy Fathers, let Jesus Christ, our God, have mercy on us and save us.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Have a good night, all.